CLG versus TSM. Not a bad game.
It's a small final. There's nothing interesting, really. You can all go home. They're going to kick you out in a minute. We don't have that again.
Absolutely amazing final. Of course, the two North American teams made it through this time. And it's just great to see, I have to point out, the fans here at Gamescom, absolutely brilliant. You've seen the bands so there. Loud. The noise was ridiculous when the two teams came out on stage. So, thumbs up, guys, here in the audience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what a difference a year makes, it has to be said. These guys, some random arrow going past in the background here. Hold on, let me, no, I need to go that way. There we go. So, and again, banners. This is what we said. We've said Ocelot banners. You know, these guys are rock stars. I was just talking to Shuche, actually, and I was like, are you getting tired of it? Yeah, he says, well, I kind of stood in a place for 1 hour, and I couldn't really do anything. People just constantly coming up to him. You know, when these guys have just become recognizable, they're now streaming, obviously, after the DreamHack. They all kind of had a little bit of fame there. They all stream. They all have that little picture down in the corner here or whatever it is. They have this just sat there in the web. And so everybody knows what they look like now. But, you know, I would say the standout players, you know, they're just photographed non-stop now. I don't think they were quite expecting it. They knew they were going to be a bit more popular, but I don't think they were quite expecting how crazy it's got.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to hear this crowd here at Gamescom a little bit more today.
Yeah.
We've got the best of three coming up, and of course, CLG versus TSM, a rivalry, if you've ever seen one. As Kelly pointed out there on stage, you know, they've had this rivalry going on for a while now, let's call it.
It all came around when Hotshot and Reginald had the split. Hotshot used to be part of Team Solar Mid. Team Solar Mid started off as like a big LoL community, and they split apart. CLG got formed, and, you know, and then that's how the rivalry sort of became about. If you really want to check it out, it's all on the CLG website. They've got a lovely history, a 1-year history thing they posted. It was I mean, yes, it's a rivalry. Yes, they are both US teams, but really, you know, between the two, there's not a lot of difference. They are both fantastic teams. They all have fantastic players. So I've no idea which way this one's going to go. I've got to be honest. They played each other last week in the Intel Extreme Masters China qualifiers. CLG came out very, very strong in that one. I think we're going to see a bit of difference here. I spoke to them last night, and like Reginald's like, yeah, we want a bit of revenge.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. And, you know, the game on stage here is a totally different game to what we've seen online between these two. The crowds here, you know, there's pressure on them. They're fighting for a lot of money in this one game. You know, the whole 5 days you can basically throw away now because it's a final day. They've not played a game today, you know, on stage. I'm not sure if they've had time to really warm up or what have you. So this will be interesting to see how they come out of the gates. And I'm going to say now, I think the team that wins the first map wins the whole tournament.
I think I'm going to be going with CLG on this one. I think personally they have played just solid throughout. They've been so confident throughout the whole thing, and it just they've not really flinched. TSM have had a few moments where it could easily have gone either way, but CLG just really have looked strong. However, we're going to see completely different picks between these two guys because they know each other well. They've practiced online together a bit. It's not like massive amounts, but they have played online together, so they're kind of, you know, just... We had a
blind pick game.
Yeah, George failed. George failed at hosting. But, you know, they've played a bit online, and I think they played about 5 games before they came here together, so they like just warm each other up. You know, because at the end of the day, there's only so many teams in America at the moment that are at that level that they can practice with. And it becomes the same with, like, for the European teams, but they don't want to practice against someone that is a close rival because chances are you will probably face them in the final,
And the other one just saying, Hotshot blind pick GG. Nice one. So we're in the tournament draft mode now. Obviously, you've seen the spectator mode that we've had here all weekend long. And now, hopefully, it's going to deliver in what should be an absolutely amazing game. So, all 10 players into this one. You think we're going to be seeing some special picks for this game?
Well, maybe. We're definitely going to be going with a lot more with the American style. Immediately, Team Solar Mid banning out Nidalee there.
Surprise.
Kind of expected, surprise. Will we see all the bans aimed towards Hotshot GG? We have done in the past. St. Vicious on Fiddlesticks. He was incredible. Fiddlesticks used the American side. And I was talking with Ocelot when we were doing the stream on the third place playoff, and he was saying, you know, it's incredible that a jungler can just switch between an AP, an AD, a jungler, whatever he requires, he will have. Very, very quick picks there, it has to be said. Oriana, Udyr, and Zillion by CLG, Nidalee, Fiddlesticks, and Jax by Team Solo mid, and immediately the cow is the first pick. So, you know, the Americans have been utilizing Alistair so well that the Europeans, when we've seen them picking it, they've not quite worked so well. The Europeans were very strong when it was AP cow, but the Americans playing more as the support role in the bottom there, and from the European side, they're kind of used to, say, like, for example, Nif, because we were talking about it earlier, is a lot more comfortable on Soraka and Sona and Janna. Not that comfortable on the cow. No,
definitely not, and that's something that we've seen him have to contend with in that one. So we've got the first 2 picks for CLG, and we have Gangplank and Brand.
Yeah, and we've seen some brilliant Gangplanks this time. So St. Vicious is going to be on Gangplank. He has that great slow ability. His ulti can pop from anywhere around the map just to assist. Soul's on Annie. You know, he's incredible on Annie. That is his go-to character. So immediately we are seeing CLG with 2 characters that they are very much, probably would have been their first picks anyway, or would have been the picks, you know, regardless of how the bans would have gone. So I think CLG are going to be happy so far.
So TSM get the next 2 picks, of course, and Nocturne coming in. That's not really a surprise. We've seen a lot of Nocturne, and he's proved to be very, very strong throughout this whole tournament. Yeah,
the odd one on just yesterday, last night, he was just ripping Ash apart. I think who was the odd one that was dying? Oh, no, I'm completely talking rubbish. It was St. Vicious against whoever they played in the morning. It was a small game, Millennium. Ripping Ash apart, and he was diving in. He was the first one initiating straight in there, and Cho'Gath, Hotshot GG on Cho'Gath was so quick to get in there. And again, there he is, Cho'Gath. So we kind of the go-to guy that Hotshot GG will be taking in the top lane. St. Vicious picking up, there's obviously going to be elements on Sona. Again, this is a very similar team to what we saw yesterday morning. The Millennium game, we are pretty much almost identical, apart from the fact Nocturne needs to be this side. Well, there we go. Cogmore, Big Fat GG has shown how Cogmore can be played at this event. He's been brilliant. And you can't underestimate the positioning that he's been playing. We were talking about it yesterday with Millennium game. It's like Cogmore's doing all the damage, but they just could not get to him. You know, I was talking to St. Vicious last night. There was the big player party, and they were basically saying, you know, Elements and Hotshot were just literally forming a barrier, saying, you know, just protecting Cogmore. Anyone wanted to go past, you were not going to get there. Yeah, Elements sat there, was on Sona, and wow, Big Fat GG going to be picking Caitlyn. So it's a pretty strong bottom lane between both. Really, X-Special will be switching obviously to the support, which will be Janna. We're going to have Chaox. Chaox has performed pretty admirably throughout this event, and it's, well, Cogmore versus Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to have the poke advantage, obviously, with the Piltover Peacemaker has that advantage in the range until about level 6, when obviously Cogmore can start spitting a lot longer, getting the slowdown. It's going to be heavily down to the junglers. Nocturne past 6 is a pretty scary thing. You can't push the lane too far. Now, the problem is Cho'Gath is not going to be that upset about Nocturne coming diving out for him, so they're going to need quite a bit of damage to get in there. And I'm not too sure how that one will work out, but Aurelia up top versus Cho'Gath, that's a pretty decent setup. I don't know how this one's going to work out. You know, I said CLG are going to take it, but TSM have got some pretty good picks there.
Yeah, and I guess we've got the
okay, no problem.
Switch bug, so we're going to have a remake of the game. I guess we'll make a blind pick game to save some time.
We've been kind of expecting that. It's just if they don't quite get it, sometimes I think it's when you have to do a double swap. That's the issue at the moment. That'll get it fixed, don't worry. There's also been some full-on server changes in the background that I've been told. You know, they've swapped them out overnight, so we've got a full new game, Tournament Realm, Riot well on the ball with what's been happening. So hopefully we're going to have some awesome matches here. So Joe, I never actually got your prediction of what was going to go on here.
Well, actually, I told you last night that I think CLG are going to take it. You know, despite the fact that they're not actually their normal lineup. And we were talking a little bit last night. I think it was Hotshot that was saying, maybe it was Elements, I don't remember, saying that, you know, if you had Chaucer there as well, they would be even stronger. I mean, they're already in the final, and basically with a stand-in. It's pretty insane how far they've got.
And Salsa's handled the pressure very well, it has to be said. You know, he stepped up his game to come in here. He was at DreamHack, so he's not like new to it all, but it's obviously, you know, stepping into the team. I don't know how much practice they'd have had together, you know, obviously stepping in as the AP champion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure for the fact that the current AP guy is there in the team, so he's, you know, watching your every move, so it's a little bit harsh. But Chauster, yeah, unfortunately couldn't come here. He will be going to China as far as I'm aware. Obviously, you know, he's going to be gutted himself because he's going to be sat at home watching this and going, should be me.
Are they going to kick me out of the team if they win?
No, I don't think there's any worry about that.
Yeah, but I think CLG are going to take this one. But as I mentioned earlier, with the crowd here on the big stage, I believe the team that wins the first map is going to go through and win it.
Yeah, and it's in, you know, you can't underestimate the crowd. Ocelot was saying earlier about Candy Panda on stage. You know, he gave up the first blood. Fnatic did a great troll. They CV'd their own bush, which caught him out of first blood. But saying, you know, it was very nervous as it was, and in a situation like that immediately puts you on the back foot. So first blood, especially on a big stage like this, when the crowd just roars like crazy, you're like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, of course they played at DreamHack, but there wasn't really that big stage feeling like we've got here. So we are actually getting into the game right now. Let's hear a little bit of noise. It's the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge Cologne League of Legends Grand Final. It's CLG versus Team Solo Mid. In game then, the grand final, game 1, CLG versus Team Solo Mid. I'm pretty sure the American community right now is super happy.
Yeah, they're probably going ape, and you know, I can already sense the feeling of the US greater than EU stuff, and it should really be North America greater than, because don't forget, both these teams have got some strong Canadian roots in there. So we're going to see CLG slipping into possibly the blue buff area, yeah. And, you know, we're in the American style game here. EU, we never get a first blood fight in the jungle, but, you know, we may just get it here, Joe. As Hotshot has gone into the bush. I think, did they see them going in there? I'm not too sure of the vision. Souls has got stun of the Rayman's going to go straight in there. I managed to flash straight out of there. Great Howling Gale from Reginald there, just about keeping him out. And more importantly to note that Reginald is on Janna.
Yeah. This setup could be very interesting from TSM, the way that they've actually put it all together.
Yeah, so X Special going to be the support, and Reginald on Janna. I have no idea how this is going to go. Are we going to see AP Cow? I'm kind of intrigued. Are we going to see crazy AP build? It's a pretty interesting build from TSM. Let's have a look. CLG going to return. And yeah, not even going to bother keeping invasion there. They've got the trap there. Caitlyn's managed to put the traps down, so they're going to have a reasonable vision of when Nocturne goes for it. The odd one pinging away like crazy. They're not sure that CLG has disappeared at the moment. And don't worry, guys, we don't give anything away. There's no ghosting attempt from you know, hearing our views, as it were, because they have that 10-20 second delay on the actual game PC to the spectator mode built in there. So you don't have to be careful what we say, which is great for us.
So we're going to have Janna lining up in middle against Annie. Really excited to see how this all goes, to be honest. And Solsei obviously at the moment just farming away. We've seen Janna go up and actually assist the odd one. Justin obviously in his jungle path on that blue buff. Down in the bottom lane, of course, it is the Cow and Coglort against Caitlyn and Sona. Up at the top, no real surprise, Hotshot versus Rainman.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how Reginald is going to do here, as I guess possibly going to even build an AP Janna there. So Janna with the strong, and you know, it's really aiming towards more of a late game. I guess he's going to have that ulti that can just knock people out later on. He's going to get caught already. He's going to get that Howling Gale straight across. Didn't go where he wanted it to because he'd already put it down. Salsa's already dodged straight out of the way. Got really hard to keep up down the bottom in between these two. Big Fat GG and KX is going to be intense affair. We're going to have to keep our eye on this one closely because one of them will go and die very quickly if we don't keep our eye on it. The top, I think, is going to be pretty safe to say that they're just going to chip away at each other for a long time. Not a lot's going to happen there. If there's going to be a first blood, Salsa is going to be possibly the one that's going to get out on Reginald, but I'm intrigued to see how Reginald's going to play Janet here, because Reginald is such an aggressive player in his whole play style. Down the bottom, you can see Chaos has been chipped away out there. So Big Fat GG, again, like I said, he's going to have that slight range advantage early on, and Chaos will soon gain it back once he hits 6+.
Yeah, once he gets up to that ulti level, he's going to be one annoying cog more. In the middle, Reginald is doing fairly well down at the bottom. We're having pings onto the odd one, and actually a flash comes in. They've knocked Big Fat GG back. He actually tries to flash away. Exhaust is there, and first blood goes to TSM. Odd one is the one to pick it up, and wow, amazing, top. Amazing stuff. And up at top, we've got the push in there as well.
Down.
Wow.
Yeah, so a gang from both junglers there, really well played from both, but Team Solar Mid pick up that first blood. CLG just a little bit behind on it. St. Vicious was actually pretty low on hit points. I don't think he really lost the fat there. He was already low before that fight. Meanwhile, we got Annie diving on towards Reginald there, and just outside of tower range as well, cleverly. He's going to keep the stack push on there. Reginald, you know, until he actually gets that Howling Gale built up enough, he's going to struggle to keep Salsa away from him, because, you know, it's all well and good getting that Howling Gale straight across, but until Salsa, he can just keep pushing for the early levels. Reginald needs to get the Howling Gale built very strongly. You can see the odd one is just stalking around there, but Salsa's going to go back and buy, as is expected.
And amazing stuff up at the top there. Rainman obviously being the first victim here, and he's actually going to put some pressure onto Hotshot, who is backing away to the safety of his own turret. Decent amount of minions coming in there, so he's going to get some nice farm early on. Obviously, Big Fat GG did go back. Does have boots now as well as that Doran's Blade, so you know, first blood's always bad to lose, but at least he's got some boots now.
Yeah, indeed. At least he's gone back and bought early. That's the bright side.
I'm trying to keep it positive.
Trying to keep it positive there, yeah. So Reginald pushing the lane, actually, would you believe? Rainman just letting the lane push itself. Hotshot is just happy to take the hits there. Gale again. Reginald already leveled it up quite heavily. Going to farm away with that. Looks like the odd one picked up the race. Have a quick look down the bottom there. Chaos continuing. So farm-wise, CS-wise, obviously Chaos was knocked out of lane, but despite the fact he is still only 1 CS behind, so he's keeping up despite the fact he's not been there. Aurelia versus Hotshot GG up the top there. Just having a look around. Yeah, he's just a little bit behind. He did get killed early, obviously, which is why Hotshot's going to keep up. Now, Hotshot has not got teleport, which is he's been taking for the most of the tournament so far. Once he's been out top lane, he just continues on pushing. Again, we are seeing Gangplank coming around the side there. Rayman's going to spot that one and get out of there, no problem at all.
Rayman knows that he has to be careful in these early levels here, because they start to get that pressure from Gangplank. Things could go pear-shaped for him very, very quickly. At the moment, Big Fat GG just working his way through those minions, getting that farm. Obviously, we see Chaos and X-Special down on their tower just to be safe. Meanwhile, in middle, we have Annie 38 to the 36 of Janna, so very even stuff in and around that middle area. Down on the bottom, the CS is as follows: 41 for Caitlyn and 41 for Cogmore, so doesn't get much more even right now.
Yeah, Reginald now got his Howling Gale built up pretty much. It's going to do a lot of damage to him straight up lane. Yeah, you can see he's just having no problem farming. He's just backing away. He's got to be careful about the fact, obviously, Gangplank can come out, and when Tibbers goes down, it would explode very quickly. So he's fully aware of that, which is why he's backing away. Especially not got Oracle yet, not got to that stage, so he's not aware of the ward. You see Chaos with Big Fat GG down the bottom there. Big Fat GG at the moment without his support. Elements has just been back, got the Philosopher's Stone. Annie just going to put that ward down river. Very wary of the Nocturne threat of the odd one. Pretty even in gold so far, 7.5 minutes gone. We've seen some early dragons from both these teams. In fact, I think we saw a 7-minute. Look at that, X-Special just standing there, taking it from Big Fat GG. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Trap goes down, he was trapped in there. Immediately gets the trap back on. Aurelia's been back on board. What has Aurelia got? Gone straight towards, building towards the Wriggles, I guess. See Reginald taking the burst, but it's not doing a great deal. Reginald was ready for that, got that shield on already, and I think we're going to have possible gank attempt down the bottom here, Joe. No, he's going to back away. There's a ward there anyway, so they wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, backed away there completely. Got Gangplank actually headed towards the middle area. There is a ward here, so they are going to spot that one as well. And St. Vicious is actually, the ward just timed out literally, but they'll have seen Gangplank there. You would think so. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, we're seeing Reginald just back away to safety. And also probably going to be getting himself a nice blue buff here to contend with Annie in that middle area. Up at the top, Hotshot GG putting some decent pressure in onto Rayman. As you mentioned, we saw Rayman go back. Madrid Razors picked up. Hotshot also went back, picked up Catalyst the Protector during that time.
Yeah, here we go. Chaos has now hit the 6 mark, so he's starting to put the damage down onto Big Fat GG. He can take revenge on the traps and Piltover Peacemakers he's had flashing over his head for the first 6 levels. Reginald got that blue buff. He's going to start doing a bit of damage. Look what he's built up now. He's going to Catalyst the Protector first on. So he's farming well. I mean, he's keeping up with Sols, and Sols has not had the pleasure of Gangplank coming to help him getting in any early ganks. So Janna's really not that worried about Sols.
Up at top, we'd seen this could be interesting here. Gangplank ulti went off, but Rayman actually flashed out of it there. Hotshot was obviously chasing him down. Rupture didn't really do that much to help him catch up to him. So, down at bottom, Elements going home. Big Fat GG going to have a little bit of free XP, and actually they're going to flash in there at the perfect time. Big Fat GG is in trouble, nets himself out. Ulti from Cogmore, finished off by X-Special. It's 2-1. X-Special, yeah, he got the kill there, and it should have been going, in the direction of Chaos, but a kill is still a kill.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like they're going to make their move towards Dragon as well. We are 9 minutes 51 in. And the first Dragon will go down, and you would assume Wriggle's now picked up by Aurelia. Aurelia returning to top lane. That's going to be a nice easy Dragon straight away. So Reginald just keeping Sols busy. I don't think they're even aware of it, or they just simply can't do anything about it. The Odd One taken very low there, but the Odd One has had 2 successful ganks down the bottom there, whereas Gangplank obviously failed. Gangplank ulti, we see it as green. That's just the spec mode thing. It really is Gangplank's on the right team. It's not like he's working with the enemy or anything.
Yeah, I think that's just some bug inside the spectator mode. Here we go. We're going to see St. Vicious coming to that middle area. Reginald straight back out of it. Did build boots. Catalyst the Protector already finished, and of course he has that blue buff from a little bit earlier on. His Howling Gale is doing nice damage already.
Yeah, he's got it up to full spec now, so he's just going to be wiping out those minion waves. As soon as he comes up, just straight up the middle of it. It's like a Piltover Peacemaker all in itself for Janna there. Just wipes those minions down to nothingness. He just needs to pick up the farm afterwards. He's just got to be careful he doesn't miss out, which of course Reginald is not going to miss out, gets every single one of them. Down the bottom, CS-wise, 75 to 74. So again, between these two guys, it's put a hair between them. They are both. They're going to be building different things. I would expect possible Madrid Razor to come out on Cockmore. It's kind of like what a lot of people have been building them, but at the moment I'm not too sure whether he's going to go that route. And see how Chaos builds it. He's done 2 different builds already this event, so I don't want to guesstimate what he's going to go.
Reginald in middle, just trying to zone out Sols, and maybe even get a bit of tower damage in here as well. Howling Gale goes out. Up at the top, we have seen Aurelia go back, finishing off that Wriggles. Also got the Ruby Crystal ward as well, and a few pots just to be safe. Up at the top, the CS, 86 for Hotshot GG, 71 for the Rainman. Down at the bottom, I guess it's still pretty even as well, 81 to 89. So Cogmore taking that bit of a lead.
Yeah, and the Odd One, again, just holding back. Remember, we've had 2 ganks successful down the bottom here as well. Big Fat GG has a ward in his own bush this time, so he's not going to fall for it. He is alone. Let's have a quick look up towards the top. No, they're just continuing to farm. I thought something might be happening, but no. 12 minutes in. The gold advantage, obviously, going towards TSM. They have that extra kill. They have the Dragon, which has bought them the time. But again, nobody's really pushed any towers. It's been pretty even lane phase in between both teams. You kind of expect that. We're in a final. It's a big event for them. Reginald has got Gangplank coming around behind him this time, but again, Sols didn't have stun, wasn't quite ready for it, and there's just no gank attempt there, so it's not quite working for St. Vicious and Sols at the moment. They've not been able to get in there and deal with Reginald. Meanwhile, you can see down the bottom, the Odd One has snuck in there yet again. His ulti can launch him quite a distance, so it's all about especially landing that pulverize, and once he does, I expect to see the Odd One leaping in there. In fact, he's going to back away, which will get spotted by that ward in the dry bush straight away. Janna, though, at the moment down there, it's got the Janna ulti, will get out of it. It flashed across the Gangplank, but ultis and flashes used there by Reginald.
Yeah, and actually we saw Elements just taking a shot there at X-Spicer, which kind of gave away that there was a ward there. Sometimes you'd rather not do that maybe, and try and surprise them when they think they're in the better position when actually they're not. But also, I guess it makes them play a little bit more defensively, even though they've got that bush under control. In the middle, we're just seeing the Odd One cross over. Probably going to take a little bit of farm away from this middle area. Reginald is just getting back to his lane as well. And I'm seeing Gangplank also cross over to the other side of the jungle. Actually, Rainman just went inside them. We are seeing the ulti going off here from Nocturne onto Sols. Didn't do as much as they probably intended from that one. And more just to do that damage and force Sols. And we are seeing the attack down on bottom as well. Big Fat GG is very, very low. I think he's going to get away from this one. Elements obviously is in behind him as well. And, well, they survived that one. So plenty of action early on. At the moment, gold 18k to 16.7k. So slightly in favour from that kill earlier on. Yeah,
Rod of Ages now on Reginald, on Janna. I'm intrigued to see how this one's going to work with a full-on AP Janna, which he seems to be building at the moment. See the damage going on the tower there. Elements is not going to be able to do a fat lot about it. He's just targeting those minions like he should do and trying to do as much damage to KX. Just force him away. You can see the Odd One coming around, putting that ward in jungle, doesn't want to get caught out again. Aurelia actually invaded and took the golems as well just before that fight, so it's time to really cover all the jungle areas. And Sols, I don't think Sols is like, it's like, I don't know really how to deal with this crazy Reginald Janna character in the middle here. You can see he's clearing out the farm quite easily, which is actually causing Sols problems because he's obviously pushing straight towards the tower, possibly losing a little bit of gold. You can see he's trying his best to keep his Q going. Will he manage to get? Yeah, so he's losing a lot of gold at the moment. Just managed to pick a few up. Let's have a look. You can see the pings as Hotshot GG comes around the side there. Rupture goes down. He well catch Reginald. Gangplank will go in there as well. Nice Janna ulti. Well, no! Tibbers comes down and Sols explodes him. But that was 3 ultis used to get that kill. So that, if TSM can follow it up with something that, with all those ultis used, they may be able to push somewhere. But at the moment, they're not really in a situation to. The Odd One, it needs to come across and protect the tower. Sols is there. Aurelia's going to come through. The Rainman on towards Sols. Tibbers has been used already. If the Odd One has anything to be able to get on and help him out, he will manage to get the Q across. It's a nice rupture there from Hotshot GG. It's going to keep him away, but I don't think it's going to keep Sols alive. And the Rainman now in a little bit of trouble. Does Hotshot GG have his ulti ready? It doesn't matter. He doesn't need it. St. Vicious gets the kill. Very nicely done. 3-3 all square on kills, and they're going to continue pushing this mid turret, and the Odd One's going to struggle to keep these 3 at bay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he's really going to attempt it. He'll stick around probably, but I think he'll leave sooner rather than later from this one. There are still 3 minions hanging. Actually, the tower targeting St. Vicious there, and they've left that tower just alive. 1 hit from anyone, and that would be down. It's actually got 60 HP left, so yeah, that would be going down there. As you mentioned, 3-3 in kills. Only 1k gold difference.
Yeah, 1k gold difference. Hotshot GG's pushing that top tower, continuing to farm. Farm shop GG, as a lot of people like to call him. Cho'Gath has got that man immune down at bottom as well, so instead going towards that rather than the Madreds to start with. So I expect to see a lot of ulti usage coming out from Chaos. Going to continue pushing. You see Reginald pushing on towards that tower. That tower is also down to 400 hit points, so both mid towers very low. Hotshot GG continuing to chomp away at the top there. Aurelia's going to come in and keep him away from that. Ward's going down. Well, Hotshot's actually taking a little bit of pressure from Rayman there. He's going to continue on just chipping away, not really able to do anything against each other. Dragon now coming out from T's solo mid. They will pick that one up, I think. And the ulti from Gangplank trying to get the steal. They're going to try and walk out of that. They will keep it alive though. Nobody's actually moving in to follow it up, so TSM will pick it up. But Caitlyn stole, I think, there. Yes, he did. The big fat GG managed to steal it with a beautiful Piltover Peacemaker across. Very well played, and CLG really in a strong position. Looks like they're going to continue pushing this top turret. Meanwhile, in mid, Sols needs to be careful because the Rain Man's going to come around the back side of him. Will manage to get a dive on him. Reginald not quite in position. Remember, that tower is very low, so they could probably dive and just finish off the tower, then finish off Sols. But instead, they're going to back away, and they're going to lose this top tower. Yeah, they are going to lose this top tower, so CLG take a tower. And wow. Team Solo mid, this is very even still between them. You know, the gold, the split, and a great split, great steal. The odd one doing a lot of damage onto a hotshot. Turns around, puts the rupture down. The odd one just dodges out of it. And yes, he does have a lot of damage. He's quite capable of churning it up. Meanwhile, you can see the Rayman at the top here, Joe. He's getting in position again to go on the tower.
Yeah, we'll see how that all goes. And is he going to go in there? Yes, he is. Janna's in there as well. Big Fat GG is dead. Oh, he's got the stun off there, but that's not going to be enough. Sona is next. That's an easy kill with 4 guys there. And they're just going to get straight in on the tower. Nicely done by TSM. Obviously, they managed to steal that dragon. Then they took top tower. Now they've taken this bottom tower. Brilliant play so far.
Yeah, and they're continuing to push. Obviously, that long range from Cogmore, just trying to do as much damage as they can. You can see Nocturne continuing to push on top. I don't really think he's going to do a lot of hot shots.
They can kill this middle tower as well.
Yeah, they've switched across, and CLG have not reacted in time. They've got 4 there. They need to get straight across that tower. It is going to go before anyone from TLG managed to be able to get across. You can see St. Vicious and Annie, they were just too slow to react to the switch there. And TSM really starting to turn it on here. They've got a 3k gold advantage, 2 kill advantage, and 2 tower advantage. I'm just going to let CLG a hot shot. I'm just going to see if they're going to have the cheek to get the blue. And CLG are going to try and push them. Ward goes down. They can see exactly what's coming.
Nicely done, actually. Firing off into that pack of players. Hot shot actually just backing away a little bit. We've seen the portal home up on the top lane, actually. And all 4 pushing down now towards this bottom turret. Let's see if CLG are going to stay and try and force this one. There are 3 left around the bottom for TSM. And St. Vicious there just taking a turret hit. And they'll defend this one, no problem.
And the Rayman again going to push those minions stack up towards the turret. The base turret now it is, remember, not the inner turret. There's nothing there, so nicely done from them. So they're going to back away. What are they going to buy? Let's have a look. Manimuno and Wriggles. Sorry, not Wriggles. He's always going for Madras, of course. He is. Well, he's got Manimuno first. So Wriggles going to be coming out on Big Fat. It's not Big Fat GG. It's Chaos. I'm so used to seeing him on Cogmore now. The American style. I'm intrigued to see whether Cogmore is going to start getting played by the European teams. It's always been pretty much Ash, Caitlyn, the standard guys that we've seen in the European scene. And you know, the meta game may change in Europe. I guess we'll find out. But right now it is the US. Well,
North America.
Don't want to upset the Canadians out there.
No, but I totally agree with you. After big tournaments, we always see a shift in things, especially because, you know, it's not so often that we get to see those play styles mixed together, and you really see after that, the first month or so, some really interesting new fresh stuff coming all over the place. Here we go, then we're going to see Hotshot GG taking some pressure, and it's possibly going to be too much pressure for him. Exhaust is in there, Reginald is coming in as well. Hotshot actually flashed away back into the bush. Gangplank ulti is down, but it's not going to save Hotshot whatsoever. Reginald gets himself out, and well, that's how you gank.
Yeah, and he was pushing too hard, didn't have the wards placement down at all there, which you normally would have to do, especially when you're completely pushing blind. You know, they're all missed. So actually caught out of position, very unusual. You can see CX Special is going to knock St. Vicious straight in towards the tower, and now pick up another kill. Will he be able to get away with it? Elements comes across, tries to put the ulti across on tower, but that's going to be Elements going down as well. Yes, it will. Team Solo mid are dominating here. Salt is now in trouble. The rest of his team weren't quite on the same wavelength as CX Special there. I think they were expecting him to come through and catch him so hard there. They're going to go back. Janna ulti, top them all off, continue pushing top, or will they switch around? Surely, will they be going Baron? Yeah, will they be going Baron? I think they might do.
I'm not sure that they're going to get in position to really do anything now. 2 wards over the top, just because they can. Cogmore ulti is coming in. Big Fat GG doesn't have vision down there anyway. Is going to go for it, but doesn't get the steal. And it is a Baron for TSM at 22 minutes.
Yeah, very close to getting another cheeky steal there. Big Fat GG didn't work out from this time though. So Aurelia's going to keep pushing on the farm up top there. The tower going to take a bit. I guess everyone's just going to farm up that little bit and go by. And CLG are up. You know, this is the first time in the tournament we've seen them with their backs against the wall. 8-3 in kills, 5k behind in gold, which is a big chunk at this stage. And TSM with Baron, they are just going to go by and then start plowing up one of the lanes. I would guess, I don't know, it could be mid or it could be top. Obviously, they've still got that tower on the outer tower. Looks like it's going to be straight mid though. Yeah, they're going to go straight up mid. And CLG, you got a hot shot. He needs to port back now. He needs to be porting back already. They need to react very quickly. They got caught out on the first inner turret. They don't want to get caught out on the second one. Gangplank's also far away. You know, they are miles from this. TSM are just going to get straight in and take this tower. There's nothing they're going to be able to do against it. The Gangplank ulti does go down there. That tower farm will go down there. We just seen Cho'Gath port back. Actually did a lot of damage to Especially. He couldn't tank it up. St. Vicious will take this bottom turret. And, well, just that simple Gangplank ulti saved their bacon there.
Yeah, KX is going to be scary at this kind of range. Obviously, huge poke with that ulti. Plus, he did have red and blue buff and Baron buff, so pretty much as strong as he could hope for at this stage of the game. And yeah, just spamming those ultis up onto that turret area. Hotshot is actually coming fairly deeply out there, and his Banshee's Veil actually gets popped. Here comes an ulti from Nocturne, and that is down at the bottom onto St. Vicious. And obviously that fear proccing as well. Surely he'll be able to get this kill. I can't see that St. Vicious is going to get out of this whatsoever. Maybe just with his speed, and the Fear is going to get the kill, and Odd One makes it 9-3, and it's almost a 5k gold advantage now.
Yeah, and they're going to keep on pushing at the top there. The Odd One will actually push that bottom lane while he can. There's no reason why not, and that will put pressure on towards that inner turret. Meanwhile, the rest of Team Solo mid are continuing to chip away, and Cogmore with his ulti is just like landing it on everyone, slowly chipping everyone down. Again, Oddshot just standing there. Reginald puts a Howling Gale across, and there we go, straight across towards the inner. They're going to pick up the blue buff, and the Odd One pushes that lane, and the inner turret will go. There's no way they're going to react to it. Reginald's just sticking around, just keeping people busy, while the rest of TSM take that inner turret.
This has so far been a real solid game from TSM. We've not seen them being out of position really. All I'd say, they've been playing pretty damn flawless, and that AP Janna obviously is something that you don't often get to see. Has been doing great. And again, it looks like they are going to force a bit of a poke in there. Reginald, maybe get that Howling Gale off. Yep, there it goes. Only hitting a couple of minions. And TSM move back towards the middle area. And CLG, they have their backs to the wall after 25 minutes. I didn't expect this.
I don't think they expected it either. TSM are exactly extracting revenge. They're going to back away from this one by the looks of it. Yeah, straight down towards Dragon. And, well, CLG are going to continue chasing. I think that's a dangerous move. They know they're going for Dragon, though. I guess they want to engage it. They will do. Hotshot gets exhausted straight around there. TSM were ready and waiting for that. Big Fat GG's been caught out of position. Rayman will be able to flash out of that. Nobody going down at the moment. X-Special is going to block that. Pops his ulti. Oh, beautiful. Annie Tibbers going down there. Chaos is very low. Salsa will go down. Chaos follows. You know, Hotshot GG is now in trouble. We can see Big Fat GG is slowly burning. Aurelia and Reginald will take him down. Actually, the Odd One got the kill on him in the end there. I'll say Vicious, you're in trouble as well, and I don't think Hotshot GG will get away with this one. The Odd One is going to let him get away, but that's almost certainly a tower. And wow, that's a 4-for-1 there from TSM. CLG now desperately in trouble. You know, it was an aggressive move from CLG. They kind of knew they had to do something, trying to catch them out, but TSM were well prepared for that. They've got the wards down in blue. Oh, and Hotshot GG is going to go down here. You're not going to get away from that one. Try and get on tower, unless Elements actually puts the ulti across. He will walk away to the tower, but the tower is going to go. The inhibitor's going to go. Meanwhile, Reginald, you can see beating on the mid turret. Could be a 2-for-1. Assault is up. They're going to back away.
Yeah, and we saw that Howling Gale doing some massive damage there from Reginald as well. I think he was onto Caitlyn. And we'll see how that kind of develops going later on. Baron buff has now run out, but it's 13-4. That's a one-sided scoreline after 26 minutes here. 5-2 in terms of the turrets. We'll see what TSM's next move is. It looks like they're all going back. Yeah, no mana whatsoever for Reginald. They want to spend some of this gold that they've been amassing. But look at CLG not playing that super defensive role. They know that they have to push out and get something from this situation. And that something will be the red buff stolen from the TSM jungle. They are actually just pinging down into their TSM. So CLG have to be very, very careful. Red buff did go over onto Hotshot GG. Now they're going to look to have themselves a dragon. Don't think TSM will get there anywhere near in time to challenge for it. And CLG starting to bring it back. And I'd say after losing a massive team fight that last time, they've come away with a stolen red buff and a dragon. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, they're chasing onto Souls. Ooh. If Expression would have gone around the other side, I don't think he'd be able to do it. Instead, they're just going to push on. That mid tower is on next to nothing. So they're just going to go in, tank it, while CLG do come around the side there. Gangplank ulti going down, St. Vicious. Well, like, he tried to protect the tower, but it's just completely wasted now because they all just stepped aside of that one. So the inhibitor now are both at mid and top open. And they're just going to keep farming away. I'm not too sure how CLG are going to be able to come back from this one. I've got to be honest, they need to reset their mind and think, okay, fine, we've lost the first one on the stage. Let's just pull it together, Joe. In these situations, TSM, we saw them struggling to close it out the other day, and I'm hoping that TSM don't have the same problem. I don't think they will. They've got pretty dominant lead here. The odd one nearly getting caught out of position. Didn't quite happen. The stun goes down. Salsa does go in. And, well, an ulti used. He is going to go diving in there. Force the wall straight in. A beautiful Sonar ulti as well going across. But the Janna ulti will reply. Now will knock the health straight up. St. Vicious will go down eventually. Hotshot manages to pick a kill up on Reginald, though. CLG are trying their best to keep themselves in it. Big Fat GG goes down to St. Vicious also going down. And wow, Solson absolutely nothing. The Q just skipping past him. Yeah, skims the backside. 85 hit points. Still, and flash used as well there. Hotshot GG needs to be careful. He's not immune to all this, but he's going to flash away. And now the damage starts to go. Look at that, the cow just knocking him away. Now, really, we will be taking your inhibitor and you'll like it. Instead, he's going to chip away onto X Special's back. He's been left alone here. He's actually killable there. He's actually used the flash. Yeah, I mean, the odd one needs to protect his cow, as it were. He's got that Oracle on him. Hotshot GG has that brilliant spot. Will land the Rupture once again. They will finally get around. He's going to proc the fear off. And now, he gets the feast on him. It didn't quite do enough. Will the Rupture land? No, it won't. He needs to get away now. The odd one will be able to finish him off. St. Vicious coming round. He's just delayed it for so long. The fear proc's going to go down. Dodges out the side of the Rupture. And now Element is in trouble. He's got St. Vicious. He's going to surely capture him. Will he manage to get that single poly? No, he's gone the wrong way. He's gone the wrong way. Oh, dear. And now TSM are back, and the Baron's back.
Yeah, they've delayed it nicely now because you've got Rayman Chaos, you've got that Janna back in the fight, and, well, the others are kind of running around with no HP. I mean, Hotshot just in the base, healing himself up before he comes back in. And TSM ready to start pushing once again. Odd One is now coming in, got his Banshee's Veil built in there. And if you look down the scoreboard as well, 405 on Alistair, 409 on Nocturne, 424 Cogmore, 238 on Irelia, 228 on Janna. And you look over at the other side, it tells a very different story.
Yeah, it's desperation. However, the highest kills is on Salts, which kind of helps. So he's still going to have that strong burst. He's got a pretty decent AP in comparison. Yeah, 309. He still managed to keep up with the mighty Janna, who is on 372 AP. Those Howling Gales are really going to hurt. Especially just clearing out the wards on Baron. And TSM are going to clear the stacks and reset for another push.
They're worried here. They think that maybe TSM are going for that Baron once again. Wards go back into the Baron pit. And Element should probably spot that ward. Yep, ward will go down. TSM may just gear up for a bit of a fight here. Rupture comes in, especially actually walking into it, didn't actually trigger on him. We're getting pings back towards that bush. So we're going to see CLG set up somewhat of an ambush here. TSM, I don't think they're going to fall for this one. They're not going to head in that direction. They may even just start off the Baron. Okay, X-Special clears out this ward. They're not going to go for it. And CLG, of course, have to come in now. They've got no vision. There goes the Clairvoyance. So they know that TSM aren't doing it. And I think we're going to see a bit of a standoff period. And as you mentioned, and as they said at DreamHack as well, TSM had a bit of a problem finishing off games sometimes. And I hope that doesn't come in and affect them in this one.
And it shouldn't do, because they're miles ahead. They're miles ahead in gold, miles ahead in kills, miles ahead in items. Mid-turret being cleared out. It's going to take a little bit of vision away. Nothing too serious. Obviously, it's going to give a stack of gold to CLG as well. St. Vicious now is going to take that top tower, and he's going to push the stack as well. They've got a big stack down the bottom they need to be worried of because they have an open inhibitor. Yeah, there you go. Cho'Gath has gone back. So now would probably be ideal time to go for Baron. As soon as Hotshot GG shows himself down there, you can see St. Vicious. He needs to be careful he doesn't get chopped off here. He's got 4 coming around here. He's going to back straight away, and they have gone straight for Baron. Clever use there. As soon as they saw Hotshot GG teleport back, they've gone straight in for it. Gangplank ulti coming in. St. Vicious is trying to build up his stun. You can see he's getting Tibbers ready. They're trying to chip down as much health as they can do. Oh, wow, the damage from that big fat GG does go down. Reginald manages to pop his ulti and survive in time. Sona going in there. Sona ulti going across. Spec Special will go down. His ulti's not going to keep him in it. Hotshot GG comes across. I think he's still got Feast. He may well have used it there. It's actually gone quite badly wrong for Team Solo Min here, despite the fact they had quite a good initiate and the odd one on absolutely no health. They've still got 4 in there. Elements taking a hit from Chaos there. Whoa, Chaos lands it on him. Beautifully done. And Hotshot GG will go down. Surely needs to turn around, take the St. Vicious out. They're going to get them both at the same time. From absolutely no health. Hotshot GG still alive. Now he goes down. And I think they're just going to push straight in. They've got 2 open inhibitors here. I don't think they're going to go for... no, they definitely won't go for Baron. They're far too low on health. Straight for the open inhibitors. Get a bit of health straight off those minions. Yeah, straight in there. And that's going to be 2 open inhibitors. Big Fat GG, though, is going to fancy getting a kill here.
That didn't look really good for TSM halfway through that fight. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, in comes Chaos. They got this low on. Gangplank couldn't quite catch up. And they only lost 1 guy during all of it. And they aced CLG in that fight. Brilliant, brilliant play. They know that Dragon is up. They're going to go back for it, and I guess then they'll scoot off home as quick as they can and get into a position then to defend Baron. I wonder if CLG now might have a peek off towards Baron.
They might have a peek. You know, they know that TSM have to go back. We talked about this with the Millennium game when they had this situation. They kind of had nothing to lose. They have a decent stack on the bottom, so they haven't got to worry about that. They've got super minions coming up mid, though, but they don't really have any vision at all of it. I mean, TSM have got wards everywhere. There's absolutely no wards from CLG. They've all been cleared out by X Special, so they can't go for it. I mean, it's definitely now it's too late, but they are really backs to the wall, as it were, for CLG. But they're not sitting back. They're not sitting in your turret. They're still going very aggressive. And Hotshot feels he can get something out of this. He has built the Wit's End. He has built the Frozen Heart, so he's gone very tanky. Does quite a bit of decent damage in there as basic attack. And without any Oracle, I think, unless Elements has not got one yet, without any Oracle, they need to clear out these wards. And there is a stack of them. TSM know exactly what's going on at the moment.
They are stacking up. Around there, there is, okay, ward from either side inside of the Baron pit. Both teams just pinging around. CLG telling each other to get back. Are they going to set up this trap once again in the bush and hope that they can find something from it? No, doesn't look that way. They're scared to leave this Baron to, go too far away from it. But to be honest, TSM, are they going to go in there either? I'm not too sure. Reginald's all the way back there, farming that bottom lane. They're pinging like absolute madmen, CLG.
It's all about red. They were desperate to get that red.
Took them a long time to make that decision.
Yeah.
To take red. And now we see TSM going down, actually. They're going to steal a blue.
Hotshot using his feast there. So if TSM engage, that feast will not be available. Remember, he lost a couple of stacks. He's died twice recently. So I don't think he'll be up to 6 stacks. I'm not too sure if we can actually see the stacks. No, we can't see the stacks he's up to. Oh, wow, but TSM are just coming straight around. They're ignoring the minions, and they're going to try and get on towards the tower. They're going to force the fight here. They feel they've got the better of CLG. They should do. They're 21-8 up. They are very strong. Look at that. Chaos just chipping with that long-range ulti. And he's catching them all as well. Look at that. Boom. It's like bombardment coming in there. Hotshot's trying his best to do something about it, but he just can't keep them on wave. So as soon as the fight actually starts, they're already down to a 2/3 health.
Hotshot still taking damage. Those Cogmore ultis, annoying as they are, coming in constantly. So, minions cleared out. Here comes a big wave. It seems like forever it trails down that bottom lane, all moving in at once. So, let's see now if TSM are going to force their way in onto this inhibitor. Of course, Chaos is going to be one of the instrumental ones. Just spamming those ultis in. And we do see the flash, actually, from Hotshot GG into the middle of it all. Gangplank ulti is going to try and settle them off. Here comes Nocturne ultimate as well. St. Vicious is pretty low. Ultimate comes out from Reginald, and he's going to burst him down. That's a dead Janna, but this fight is not over. I think they're going to focus now in on Solsi. He's going to go down. Big Fat GG is not too healthy either, but TSM should be feeling okay with this one. Nice move from Alistair just to knock Big Fat GG out. There's another kill. This inhibitor's going down. 35 seconds is the next one up. Elements is the last one alive. This is going to be 1-0 to TSM.
Oh, survive. Minions nearly got him there, but he just about managed to survive with the trample going across. Team Solo Mid take the first map, and that's going to give them such a huge confidence boost here on the main stage. Joe, that was incredible stuff. They were strong throughout.
They didn't do anything wrong. No. From what I could really see. That Reginald AP Janna pick, I think, was a little bit surprising for CLG, so maybe we'll see.
That 16 assists, though.
We see Janna banned next game.
I think we might do. But then
yeah, 2-3-16.
There's a lot of people to target from both teams. As you know, they can all play so many heroes. Hell, we've had Chaos doing his full-on A to Z, so he's played them all, as with everyone. How good he is on them, that's the question. We are going to have a best of 3, remember, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Joe, some great games coming.
Amazing. And obviously it's only 1-0. Hopefully we get to see 2 more games, but definitely 1. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. So we're back and we're about to start game 2. Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm also thinking I've got a flight to catch, so TSM,
cancel it.
Go TSM.
Cancel it. Yeah, in 3 hours, right?
Yeah, very
You're totally
soon.
not getting on that flight. Just saying, you're not getting on that flight.
Yeah.
So we have the game up, and we're just going to join back in.
So CLG were comprehensively outplayed there. You can't underestimate how quick those early ganks down bottom. In fact, they had a double gank, to be fair. Both junglers came out. St. Vicious got the kill up top. The first blood went down the bottom as well. So, very good stuff. The odd one on Nocturne, even when he wasn't ganking, he was just, when the team fights they were ganking up, he was pushing that top lane. It drew CLG away so hard that, they just kind of didn't know whether they're coming or going, and they were just forced into some bad initiations, really. Obviously, when they came down to Dragon, they were kind of like caught out of position. Aurelia diving straight towards Big Fat GG, and Reginald's Howling Gale across Big Fat GG. It almost killed him in one hit near the end there. It was just, he could not get close to the fight. And, Chaos on Kog'Maw. I think we may even see Kog'Maw picked up early by CLG in this one, because his range, he was just chipping away at people. And when they came into a fight, they were already 2/3 health.
Yeah, and there was the one fight which looked really good for CLG, like TSM had overextended or something, and then all of a sudden, bam, it was completely the other way around. It turned into an ace, actually. And I actually got a request on Twitter as well. If you're going to play ranked right now, please don't play AP Janna in middle. You can guarantee like half of the games that just started in the last minute have got an AP Janna saying, me mid.
No, really, it works. I've seen it on stream. Yeah, Reginald was playing it on stream. It's a bit different, it has to be said. I've been in the same situation where I've seen people playing it and you just think, oh, I could do that. No,
you can't.
You really can't. Sorry. We're going to wait for TSM. They're going to join in here. I mean, I wonder how they're going to approach it any differently in this. We've seen the bans in the last one. Do you really think we could see a targeted Janna ban?
No,
I don't think so. I mean,
I don't see that happening, to be honest.
I wonder what CLG were thinking when they saw it. They were like, Reggie, are you trolling us?
I mean, it worked really, really nicely. Well, the way it all kicked off, The
big problem was that St. Vicious never managed to actually get to mid. He got the gank up top, and he tried to think 2 or 3 times to get Reginald in mid, just shielded up as soon as he came out and walked straight back. There was no problems. Didn't manage to get the gank on him. So Sols was just, doing his farming thing, but Sols wasn't able to go down bottom or top or help anywhere. He kind of had to stay there because Reggie was just howling gale straight down the line, and he was pushing power on the towers, and the minion stacks coming in there. He struggled, it has to be said. I don't know how they're going to deal with it, whether Oriana's going to be banned. I guess almost certainly. We're probably going to see Fiddlesticks banned again. I guess Nidalee has to be banned. But it's forcing Hotshot onto Cho'Gath, and he wasn't as effective as he has been, because TSM know exactly what they're playing against. The European guys, when they've played CLG, they kind of seen them obviously streaming, but they don't really know what they're going to come up against. Let me just wait for TSM to ready themselves up. The staff guys also in there. The staff guys, we've had the great write-ups. IEM Gamescom .leagueoflegends.com has been the website over on League of Legends. There have been some fantastic write-ups, all the matches. Yeah. Obviously, the streams are going on there. So if you do miss them, and the American crowds, they will probably be missing these things because they are on at, we're probably like 4, 5 a.m. or something like that. Probably later than that, maybe, I don't know, in America. So it's pretty late for these guys, despite the fact it is 2 European teams. There's this big stretch of ocean, though, so we can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, it's not in our hands. We can't bring the continents together. If we could, we would. So we're just waiting for TSM, I guess, having a little bit of a discussion as to what they're going to go.
There we go.
Not. We're straight in. So let's bring up the bans and picks and see if we get anything a little bit unorthodox.
They were very quickly the first game. They kind of knew what they were going to go straight with. This time, it's CLG discussing it, and they're going to go ban Alistar. There we go. So Alistar's been allowed in sort of every game between them. Oriana banned insta there by Team Solo mid. Udyr banned, top lane strong, and Nidalee banned. So we're picking up the speed. I wish it was like this online, this speed.
It will be soon.
Hopefully.
Once we get the spec mode in for every game, then they have to do it finished by that time. So third and final ban coming out from CLG. Let's see what it's going to be. Gangplank. Not really a surprise, although we've seen some very hot and cold Gangplanks, I'd say, this tournament. We've seen some great stuff, and we've seen some stuff that's not on par, I'm going to say. Yeah,
when Jack's banned as well, Gangplank can be... it's really... if he doesn't get the ganks, then you could go, he didn't really do his job there, but it's kind of hard, and you can't underestimate his ulti, how much that helps here, there, and everywhere across the map. Throw it down there. So we've seen, obviously, Zilean picked up there, so we're going to see in the mid it will be Sols on Zilean. He actually played brilliantly on Zilean the other day, has to be said, against Millennium. Very well played. We've also got Ashe. Ashe has kind of been target banned for a long time, so we're going to have the arrow, and we've got the odd one on Fiddlesticks. And Fiddlesticks, it was St. Vicious who played Fiddlesticks, and he was banned pretty much every time after that. Yeah, so he wasn't target banned there. Lee Sin being picked up, so that's probably going to be, actually may well be Lee Sin in jungle there, St. Vicious. Sols is going to get Soraka, so securing Soraka early on. TSM, how they're going to respond to this one. They're not really countering what CLG pick. They're kind of going with it themselves. We saw them interviewed the other day, and they were like, I think it was Fnatic TSM, and they both said, I'm going to counter what the other one picks. It's like, well, somebody has to start.
Yeah, someone has to start at the end of the day, yeah. Next 2 picks for TSM, X-Special and Rainman. Obviously, they do have that AD carry for bottom. They've got their jungler. Maybe we see, the support can come last because Soraka's already been picked. So let's see what they go with first. Or not, they're just going to pick Sona up now. See, I don't really understand that. Like, why not leave it to last when Soraka's already gone?
Yeah, Soraka's already been picked. They know you're not really going to get a Sona and Soraka in the same team, but you never know. They might go AD Sona.
AD Sona.
You never know. Reginald's going to be on Annie, I guess, there, so that could be good. So that's going to be Reginald on Annie versus Zilean mid. So, Zilean can be low hit points, the same as Annie, and there's a lot of bursts from both of them if played right, and these guys do play them right, that's for sure. And like you said, I didn't know why they left Sona last there. I guess they're just saying, we might as well just go with a pick, because at the moment they've got they're in the right picks. You can see Chaox will be playing Ashe, the odd one will be playing Fiddlesticks, X-Special will be playing that. They just didn't want to, they're saving the bug that might happen of switching. Galio coming out there, and Big Fat GG is going to pick up Kog'Maw. I thought CLG might go Kog'Maw this time around. Kog'Maw was played brilliantly, but when Ashe is available, they had to lock him in.
Indeed. we saw a Galio in the group stage,
Yes.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was CLG.
totally
It was
forgot-
CLG,
it was
I think.
CLG
I'm pretty
already.
sure of it.
Okay.
And they dominated the group stage, so obviously went well. I think it was against SK.
Yeah, it could have been.
It might have been SK. We've had a lot of games. I'm kind of confused.
Confusing.
Yeah. The last final pick, Reginald. Actually, I lied. I said they were on what they were going to play. They're not. The Rayman's obviously not going to be on Annie. He's going to be on Aurelia, so they're going to switch between there. So Rayman and Aurelia again, and that's a bit of a gap closer. Elements will be switching possibly. Yes, there he is. So Sols is going to be switching with Hotshot. I mean, Hotshot's going to be on Galio, or is Sols actually going to be playing Galio? I'm not sure if they can't switch. We'll soon see if they drop out in a moment. And like I said, yeah, there we go. So Hotshot was going to go on Galio, I thought so. So they're just going to blind a remake. Joe, we've seen the teams, we've seen the picks, we've seen TSM dominate the first. How do you think this one's going to go?
To be honest, I'm fancying TSM.
I am fancying TSM as well.
Their 5 is very, very strong.
Yeah. My flight time says I'm fancying TSM as well.
Good luck getting out of this place to the train station.
That's the thing. It's like it's not so much the time; it's more getting to the train station out of here. I mean, it's pretty busy here. StarCraft is also coming after this, so it's not exactly going to empty because
it's gonna
the
get
StarCraft
busier.
final MC versus Puma. Actually, I suppose if you're from America, it can sometimes it's Puma. Yeah. I guess tomato, all that sort of malarkey. We're ready to go. Go for the blind picks. So, for me, TSM were strong in that game. I guess, if a good Flash Galio would work, it could catch them all out, and the rest of the team, they will react as they do. They are very quick at reacting. It could easily win a strong team fight. But, the lane phase kind of went heavily towards TSM in the last game. I'm not too sure how this one's going to work. Reginald he seems to be on top form. He didn't die in the last game. There's quite a few of them that didn't die in the last game, it has to be said. Nocturne didn't die either in there, so the odd one jungling very well. It's just TSM seem to have brought their A game. CLG, we've seen them dominant throughout this tournament. Are they confident faces you're seeing there? That's CLG. You can see Hotshot down the end, the Elements, St. Vicious, and Big Fat GG lined up. And I swear the cameraman the director's just
listening to us.
Talk about it, switch it.
Get it away from us.
Yeah.
So, the countdown in-game has finally finished. The solo mid. Reginald
He's just lounging
cool.
around, yeah. Is that like the solo mid? Yeah, he has got a solo mid full-on blue vest this time. He just switched it up. So we're going to load into it. So, personally for me, Team Solo Mid are going to take this. We'll soon find out. We'll be back in just a sec.
So we are back then. Game number 2, of course, the scoreline is 1-0 in favor of TSM. We're going to be finding out if they can win this in 2 or whether CL Gaming are going to push us back into a third and final matchup, which would no doubt make you miss your flight. Yeah,
it definitely would make me miss my flight. I may need to run mid-game. That would suck. The flights were booked. I was like, yeah, for the day, that's really going to suck, but I don't think it's going to happen. Hotshot GG is on Galio, as we said. Big Fat GG going to be down bottom with Elements. That's going to be... and he's awesome. He's in the China skin. It's the rockets going off when he starts to ulti. Yeah. Sauce is going to be mid on Zillion. Played brilliantly the other day, it has to be said. Reginald also played a brilliant Zillion. It's something that the European guys have yet to play, and Ocelot said, the minute I get home, I'm going to be playing Zillion mid. Especially down the bottom with KX, of course, that's going to be taller. Ash and Fiddle in the middle. Not quite. He's going to be in the juggle. Sols, Reginald there, sorry, on Annie. I'm calling Annie Sols these days. Rayman, of course, up top. So it's going to be Aurelia versus Galio top there. Hotshot, you know, he's been tremendous so far on Nidalee, on Cho'Gath. We've not seen, well, and of course Jax as well, let's not forget that, he was target ban. And we've not seen him on Galio. I don't think he played him. I'm thinking it was a different game, you know.
I think it was the second day when I casted with Daniel. I don't remember.
Amnesia.
It's been 5 days here at Gamescom. It all kind of blended into one big long week. So the action is underway. No level 1 team fight. Not really that surprising, to be honest. Both teams playing very, very cautiously, and we may see something interesting here. St. Vicious down at bottom is waiting in the bush. And he is going to pounce here very, very soon. Clairvoyance goes down. Chaos could be the one in trouble. St. Vicious misses. And he's going to back away from that one. But still, good amount of early damage output. That's no doubt, if nothing else, just going to annoy Chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. So, sorry, I've said there's actually a drinking game thread every time I say absolutely. Surely, I think it's another one in there. But I'm going to try and watch. I don't say it too often. I'm going to have a couple of paralytic people watching this stream. But Special just going down. Double ward in jungle there. Jungle? That's not jungle. Double ward in bottom bush there. And that's obviously going straight towards the odd one on St. Vicious, sorry, on Lee Sin. The odd one continuing his route. Clairvoyance goes down. They know exactly where he's going. I wonder if Lee Sin's going to try and counter that. So he may well do know he's going to go straight for Wolves, so they're going to continue on their merry way and farm up a plenty. As we often get at the start of these games, KX has been taken a little bit low there. You can see again on towards X Special there. So Big Fat GG putting the pressure on the bottom lane. Lee Sin obviously came down to help. So let's have a look towards the CS. At the moment, top lane, yeah, it's pretty even. It will be. Nobody's going to have a massive advantage just yet, Joe.
No, certainly not. I'm going to start saying absolutely now. you put it into my head. Yeah, up at top, Hotshot GG just really hugging that bush. Rainman getting himself a load of free farm there. No harassment coming in. Down at the bottom, Big Fat GG hitting level 3 there, as did Chaos. And the CS, let's have a look at that as well, 13 to 22. So Big Fat GG doing a real great job so far of really bringing that one back. I'm so going to get confused since they switched teams and champions, like Kanox last time with Cogmore, and now he's at bottom, and Sol's last time with Annie, who's now in middle on Reginald.
Yeah, exactly. But Big Fat GG, he played Cogmore absolutely
amazing,
perfectly. Yeah, I mean, his positioning was outstanding. However, he is against KX this time. KX just playing Cogmore, knows exactly what to expect there. As we also got Fiddle making a position there. He's going to show his position, going to go straight in and really just force them away from zone them out there. But now Fiddle starting straight away. Look at that. That's an early Drake there. 4 minutes 49. Yeah, nerf back required there. I'm not sure if Lee Sin's aware of it. Will he be able to hear? Things gone down. Let's have a see if anything's going to happen. No idea. Instead, he's going to try and get a gank up the top here. And Reginald is far too far away to try and get in there. He's going to have a go anyway. Instead, he's going to go towards the... no, miss. Oh. Ooh. It's pretty low, but it's going to be doable, I think. He kind of needs a little bit of help here. Just about hanging on with that life steal. I'll have a quick look. There we go. Finishes off with the smite. Nicely done. So 5 minutes 29, Drake, very early stuff, and the odd one will go about his merry way. Reginald at the moment has that stun up. It doesn't have any health pots left. Charles, is a mix between the two, has that still health pot, so they've obviously had a go at each other there. You see at the top there, Rayman chipping away on Hotshot. That's another one that I've got to stop using. Reginald is... I'm not too sure how he's going to handle it. What are you oohing about? I'm not seeing anything.
Sol's had the ignite on him, but it was pretty safe.
Yeah. He's got Tibbers on him as well, actually. He's keeping the bomb at bay. Yeah, he's going to farm up. He uses his last health pot. Kind of the same between the both of them. He's going to miss a bit of farm here, though. The tower will take it. Don't think he's too worried about that. Rayman just sitting out the side. All he's doing now, he's going miss basically, or MIA as the Americans like to call it, and he's putting doubts in Reginald's head. So Reginald step back straight away, despite the fact his minions had pushed out lane. So he's just helping out his mid lane.
Big Fat GG just getting a couple of hits off on there to Chaos. Of course, we do have X Special up there behind him, so shouldn't be going through too much of a problem. Up at top, it's the usual case of two guys smashing each other and not really doing much damage. Actually, they pinged Fiddle there. I guess oh yeah, the Clairvoyance was down just below the Golem camp. And again, down at bottom, Big Fat GG doing a great job, and he's going to be hitting soon. He's level 6, and then he's going to have an even more annoying task, is Chaos, to keep him at bay. The CS down on that bottom lane, 51-40, so a decent lead already being built up there by Big Fat GG. Up on the top, Galio 55 to the 50 of Irelia. So Hotshot GG doing a great job so far with Galio.
Yeah, his abilities kind of help him farm. He's pretty good to farm with, it has to be said. He's not one of those poor farmers. Are we going to see... I guess we're going to see Fiddle possibly keeping the blue. I don't know whether he's going to give it to Reginald or not. We'll see whether Reginald peels off in a second. Have they been abort down the bottom? No, still nobody's been abort yet, so they're just continuing their farm. And, you know, the Bruiser fight at the top, it does kind of get a little tiring. It's something the Riot said they're going to look at. They want to see, get a little change going on there. The odd one has picked up the blue. I guess we're going to see Sols taking the blue buff in a moment. As we see Lee Sin going around here, Sols is going to back away now. Doesn't feel he's got the lane quite pushed enough. Going to miss out on some farm as well. But he's going to go for it regardless. Rayman's just going to chip away, and frankly, there's not a lot happening. They're just continuing to farm. We've had this stage a few times. You know, the first 10 minutes can be a farming session, but with that such an early dragon, I'm not too sure if TSM, CLG, even knew it was happening.
I don't think they did at all. Maybe when the crowd cheered afterwards, they were like, "Huh? What?
What was that for?"
Happened?
Yeah.
We are seeing here the odd one just sniffing around in that tri-bush. I'm not sure that he's going to come in. Maybe he will.
There's a ward there.
Yeah, there's a ward in that bush anyway, so he's pretty much useless at that point. CLG obviously aren't going to fall into that trap. Maybe, actually, Lee Sin's coming around. He's going to do the golems. Maybe after that they can get in here. I mean, they can lull TSM into a false sense of security with that ward.
Let's give it away that there's a ward there. He's getting firing straight towards X Special targeting. Actually managed to land it on KX there as well. Bomb on Reginald there. Sol's having a go. He has got blue buff, so he's going to try and farm a bit more aggressively. And yeah, Fiddle's going to back away. So TSM's wasting his time with the blue here. I think he's kind of sussed it that there's a ward there. He's not really sure where he's going. Okay, he's going to come down here. He's kind of been lingering for a long time. He really wants to get that gank. But we also have St. Vicious in there, so it's going to be a 3-on-3 down the bottom here. And they've just seen him there. They hawk shot the bush, and St. Vicious is going to back away.
Clairvoyance just going down there as well. He's going to put X Special into the bush.
Shows the odd one.
And hello, Fiddlesticks. Yeah. So the odd one really missing out on a little bit of time here. He's going to go in there onto Elements, and they're even pushing in onto Chaos.
He triggered his ulti in Elements straight away. He got in there and got the silence on him just as he was about to start doing it, which completely aborted and very nicely done there. And that was first blood. And then look at that. They immediately went, "Oh, we get dragon." Hold on a minute, it's not there. They had no idea.
Oh, middle. Salsa's going to go down. Yes, he is, but he's got his ulti in there just in time. And, well, minions.
No, minions that was the bomb. The bomb finished him off. The bomb was on his head. Managed to get it down. Okay. Managed to get the bomb on his head. No problem. Finished it off. Meanwhile, Hotshot GG has ported down towards the bottom here to try and push it on towards the tower. And Chaos is very low. Has to be careful because Big Fat GG will be able to pick him off with that ulti. Hotshot GG is just going to sit there quite happily. Looks like he's used his ulti, so he missed him using his ulti down on that tower. Still not really getting a great deal of damage on it. Lee Sin's going to chip away in the mid. Looking towards top, you can see that Rayman is going to have a chunk of it on towards the top tower there before Zillion manages to catch up. And that bottom tower now secured.
Right, all safe. Down to less than half. As is the middle turret, actually. They were just pushing there with St. Vicious. So CLG doing a nice bit of early work here. 2-0, obviously, in the lead. They're only 100 gold behind overall. And especially considering that TSM nicked themselves an early dragon, that's not bad whatsoever. Now we see Big Fat GG and Elements getting back into lane. 76 to 73, super even. CS down on that bottom lane. Up at the top, 90 to 96. Again, not much of a difference. In middle, 75 to 65. So, you know, it's just across the board a very, very nice even game at the moment.
Yeah, Solstice Bomb's starting to hurt on Reginald there. He's feeling it. And Hotshot's going to have, well, he's going to have a long time to do it because Aurelia's actually coming down bottom. He's just going to chip away at that until the minion stack comes back. They're coming down. Dragon is due, that's white. But surely the odd one, you know, he soloed it a minute ago. I guess they just want to secure it, maybe. They have a couple nearby, so they are going to pick up the second dragon. Ping going down. They're not too sure. That's actually CLG's doing the pinging.
They've got no timing whatsoever.
They've no idea what's going on with Dragon here. Absolutely no clue. However, Hotshot will be able to have another chunk of his tower going down. Now they've CV'd it and gone, wait a minute. Why is it doing up on 12 minutes?
Oh, almost a steal coming out there from Big Fat GG. Not quite working out. So, let's see what Rayman's going to do. He's going to have a bit of time here to chip away on Hotshot. Exhaust goes in as well. This could be bad for Hotshot, to be honest. The ulti fired out there from Rayman. Surely a flash over. Yep, but counter flash comes in. Rayman is still in chase. Obviously, the speed buff there just getting Hotshot out of the way, and he will be safe as houses.
Safe as houses. We've got a Wriggles built on Chaos down the bottom here, and another Wriggles on Aurelia. Have a look. So down the bottom, I mean, we've obviously seen at the top 105 to 108, very even in farm, pretty much in every single lane, 92 to 90 down the bottom. Oh, I can see the odd one lingering. Oh, and Lee Sin is going to dive on towards KX. The ulti from Big Fat GG. Oh, beautiful ulti from X Special there, just stopping them in their tracks, saying no, hands off my carry. Rayman just going to step away from the tower, and the odd one continues to farm. He's been on a farming mission, it has to be said. He's not been successful with any Crow Storms just yet. Unlike he was with Nocturne, he picked up the first 3 kills, I believe.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me a little bit not to see Nocturne since he wasn't banned. I'd have thought one team would have had him in there, but no, who am I to tell? There we go, again, Big Fat GG just clearing that lane out once again. Not much left going on. They've got a ward in that forward bush as well. And Hotshot, does he have his... Yeah, his teleport is ready, so they have to be a little bit careful down on this bottom lane, which obviously they won't know that ward is in there, so that could be somewhat of a surprise to come down for Ash and Sona. And yeah, we're seeing Fiddlesticks actually doing the blue buff. He took it there. I think Reginald may have wanted it. He started to work his way over, but then walked back as soon as Fiddlesticks picks it up. Hotshot had also taken some damage there up at the top. Really, as usual, not much going on in the top lane. They're just chipping away until they really have to go away.
Yeah, and we hate to say chipping away too many times, but that's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. You know, they're not going to finish. It's a double bruiser. They can kind of each just, you know, farm away quite happily without really interrupting each other. Rayman kind of has the better of him at the moment. He certainly has a bit more damage, has the phage and the Wriggles built in there, and just the basic boots so far, and you can see he's just going straight for him. Keep your eye on it. I certainly will do. Looking towards the mid, you can see Solf's now coming back, and picked up the boots there, had the double Dorans. Reginald has completed his Rod of Ages, so he's on his way to building some AP. Looks like he's going to have a walk up towards top. I think they're going to try and get a gank on towards Hotshot here. No, just back straight away. And says no, you know, it's not going to happen. Let's have a quick look down the bottom. You can see KX is having to furiously dodge Big Fat GG. Big Fat GG going straight for the Madrid's Blood Razor here. And unlike KX, who built it, went straight Man Immune, then he went for the Blood Razor. So, which kind of helps. You know, it can make him ulti much longer. He can do a lot more, stay in lane a lot longer. But Reginald just backing away from Lee Sin now, saw him in mid. But again, it's fairly slow paced, this one, Joe.
It is. There's a lot on the line, especially for CLG. I mean, for TSM to finish it off in 2 matches would be amazing for them, and they don't want to give CLG that confidence of bringing one back, because we've seen how that can go for teams. You know, you're full of confidence destroying in match 1, and then you lose match 2 and match 3, somehow it all turns around once again. Momentum is a powerful, powerful thing that definitely won't be underestimated by either of these teams.
Yeah, down the bottom lane, you can see that the odd one has snuck his way into the bushes. I'm not sure if they know he's there. Lee Sin's gone back, so now they are at 2. Clairvoyance, I think, just went down. He's the wards in the tri-bush, so I don't think they know he's there, you know. I don't think they have any idea. Let's have a look across.
He has his flash up as well, so
yeah, he needs to see them stepping forward. They're not going forward. They're not baiting it. Look, he's just ulting away. There you go. Clairvoyance goes down. Odd one, no, it immediately gets targeted. They can back straight out of there. So Odd one, they're not able to get any kills so far. They're not able to get any ganks. Every time he's been looking for it, they've been playing well. They've been defensively. They've got the lane pushed enough to be able to go back and buy, completing the Madred Razor there, Blood Razor, sorry. And at the top again. It's very slow going, this one. And, you know, like we said, there's a lot on the line. Team Solomid are not in China. CLG are. So Team Solomid, well, they want to win it regardless, but they've already got revenge. They're in a strong position. They've no reason to go crazy. They're only, in fact, they're ahead in farm, despite the fact they're down in gold, because they picked up those double dragons, which still CLG have no idea on the timing. They should have a clue this time, because they did manage to get a CV on it just at the end. Reginald's going to take another bomb. Yeah,
Rainman's going to take top turret as well.
He will do. And that is the first turret of the game there. So Team Solomid, finally, that's going to actually unlock Hotshot and Rainman, hopefully. So we'll just start pushing the action, because I think everyone's starting to fall asleep. I'm nodding off here.
They're going to move into other lanes, and we're going to see some action kicking off. Looks like we're going to see a Dragon attempt by CLG, although I think they still don't quite have a time on it. Sol's just going to head back as well. He's up to 118 HP. Does have already that needlessly large rod, couple of Doran's blades, plus the Merc Dreads as well. Let's see what he actually comes back with. Nothing, actually.
Yeah, they've just all backed away from that, and now it's spawned.
Timing.
The TSM knew exactly what was going on. St. Vicious is just above it, though, yeah. And Hawkshot being triggered, but, you know, TSM are going to pick this up. Big Fat GG trying to get Landy's ulti. Can they get a steal of it? They're holding, look at that. The Rayman, sorry, coming down. He's going to keep Big Fat GG away from it. Yeah, and that's going to be another TSM Dragon. So that's the third Dragon. That's pushing that gold advantage up again. Now we have Aurelia down the bottom. He's going to try and force it, but he's got to be careful, because Hotshot is pushing on towards the top tower. You know what Hotshot does best? He farms. He pushes towers. He stays in lane. He got caught out. The arrow is going to catch him. It's not going to be enough to do any damage. It's just going to get another chip up and walk away. The question is, will Team Solomid be able to catch him? Reginald coming across. Clairvoyance goes down. They know exactly where he is. Reginald will land that stun, but I don't think it's going to be enough now. They're just going to back away. There's no reason to go for it. He hit and landed the stun, but he still walked away. No problem.
Yeah, no real point in burning any skills there. We do see Hotshot still sniffing around here, and he is level 14, so they need to be a little bit wary of him. Oh, especially Fiddle, who's only level 9.
Rayman diving on towards Souls here in mid. He did have Soraka coming up behind him. Reginald
up at top as well. We've got it. It's all kicking off there. We see the Hawkshot coming up. Tower destroyed by Big Fat GG. Hotshot is still in that bush. Why have they backed away from him?
I don't know, but they need to deal with this side lane, because immediately St. Vicious and Big Fat GG pushing on towards that bottom. They've taken the bottom turret. They pinged Reginald. They saw Reginald go across, and they're going to continue pushing on. Meanwhile, TSM are a long way away. You know, you can't leave Big Fat GG chipping on the tower like that. He will do quite a lot of damage. Fiddlesticks is just doesn't care, and they are losing their blue buff. They've just pinged it now. Now Fiddlesticks is coming across, but I don't think he's been able to deal with it. Hotshot GG now has been left to deal with top turret.
I don't really get that.
Across. TSM are being stretched here by CLG quite well.
Yeah, I mean, that bottom lane was being pushed. Yeah, now Hotshot is in trouble. Rainman's just going to continue to knock those shots off, and no one's going to be anywhere near to give him any range. And yeah, there he is, dead. And the Ash arrow was a little bit far off there. Yeah, but as I was saying before, I don't understand completely why Ash and Fiddlesticks just left Hotshot there. He was in that bush, and they started to move down towards middle, but then didn't go anyway. So yeah, well, I'm sure there was a good reason for it anyway.
I can only assume they thought he'd gone, but he was, you know, he was keeping Chaos busy for a while, and then they thought, okay, now he's gone. Now he's gone. Now he's back again. That's what Hotshot does. He just farms. It's good. But he farms his way to victory. That's a bit harsh. he does a bit more than that. 2-1 the kills. That was the first TSM kill, by the way, on Hotshot GG. 3 towers to CLG, though. And they are slowly getting control. There's still no idea what's going on with the Dragon, though, so they need to get a hold of that. We are into the 21-minute mark. We've seen Baron already by now in the last game, but it has definitely been a lot slower paced here. Neither of them want to throw anything away. They don't want to go and be pushed into any rash decisions. And Big Fat GG, I think Big Fat GG is going to be one of the telling points in this. He's starting to build a lot of damage up there. The bomb's going off from Sols, picking up the farm. The ward's starting to go out quite nicely. Checking for the Wraiths there, nothing there. Odd One lingering. Odd One hasn't got a great deal of AP yet. He's got 74, it's not too bad. He's got the gold coming in, he's got Sorcerer's boots on. CLG starting to stack up mid. And Rainman fancies another go Hotshot GG down here. I don't think he's going to be able to get him. Yes, he will. There's no tower. I
can't see why
he's going
not.
to pick another kill up it. No, he's giving it away. Yeah, the speed buff away. And Reginald was like, damn it, why did you go so early?
Reginald needs to be a little bit careful there. Cogmore is sniffing around. Actually, we'll go back down. That Clairvoyance actually catching sight. Oh, and Annie was very close to Hotshot there. No problem. They're going to know where he is once he goes past this ward. And constantly, of course, Rainman just farming away up at the top. Let's have a look at the CS, because we've not really talked about it that much recently. We have Galio 184 to the 214 already of Irelia, so that's very nicely done. And down at bottom, 167 Cogmore against a 179, 180 Ash. That's not bad at all. Pretty even down there. And of course, middle was Reginald going up against Suls, which is 163 to 156, and that doesn't get much more even anyway. 2-1 in kills, 1,000 gold basically difference. It's a really great game so far. If a little bit slow, that's just a caution that these guys have right now.
Oh, Clairvoyance goes straight down on them. TSM were thinking of Baron. I don't think they're going to actually engage it. Hotshot going to be chipped away again there. Rayman doing a lot of damage to him now. He has completed that Trinity Force. He's got Wriggles as well, so yeah. Hotshot is really unable to tank him. He's got a Frozen Heart, but he's taken the quick burst damage. If you paired that up with, say, Reginald Tibbers going down on him or something like that, it would do a massive amount of damage. They're going to push straight towards his tower. CLG are closing in and around there. They know that they're here, and TSM are going to back away.
Yeah, and CLG aren't following just yet. We'll see if TSM decide to maybe touch on a Baron. Nope, not just yet. They've actually got no wards, which is a real problem for them. They've got a couple of Wriggles, obviously, but see what they can get down. Just that one at the end of the ramp. And they've actually pinged in there, so they know that there's something going on around there. Of course, now they do know that CLG are pushing this mid lane. What's the next target? Are they going to head down towards Baron? Red buff is available as well.
They're going to carry on farming, Joe. That's what they're going to do.
Farm.
Well, they're in a slow farming session, I would say. They're 30k, 31k. TSM with that a slight advantage of picking up many, many dragons. Now the dragon spawn. Okay, this is going to trigger a fight, and CLG finally find the dragon just as it spawns as well. So that's going to force them into position. TSM are not ready for this. CLG certainly are ready for this, despite the fact Hotshot GG is not here. He has got that teleport, so he can come in at any moment, any moment's notice, which is why they're going to push the mid lane and try and keep them away from it. Try and keep the tower push going, which is why Sols is double bombing. They're trying to clear this lane out as much as possible, try and force it on towards there so they can just give them the opportunity. And Hotshot GG doing exactly the same, picking up all that gold up top and going to keep pushing on towards it. And a ping actually going on to Baron, so maybe it's going to be... I don't know whether they're thinking maybe, should we go for Baron while they go for Dragon? We saw it earlier and it didn't quite work. Yeah, Elements is not going to be able to do because obviously he needs to clear out those walls. There's a big stack of wards in there as he goes in there. Hotshot GG's going, the arrow going across there. That's going to be wasted. We'll manage to catch on to Hotshot. Hotshot wants the rest of his team to come round, and they have done. Yeah, wisely done by TSM there. They've caught caught sight of St. Vicious coming around the side. All Hotshot wants to do is flash in and ulti, and he does. Simon ulti going straight across. It didn't manage to trigger enough. The odd one does manage to get it. Hotshot GG is going to go down. St. Vicious also very low. The ulti being put actually on towards Hotshot, which is why they're not finishing him off. They're waiting for it to wear off. It does wear off. He manages to get away with that speed move. Sauce also taking very low. Reginald will explode here. There's nothing going to be able to keep him alive through that one. And well, it's a pretty even trade, 2 for 1. And considering it was TSM that were kind of semi-caught out of position by the flash ulti from Hotshot, they will manage to get on towards that tower, and Big Fat GG's just going to keep Chaos away, and that's going to buy him enough time to manage to lay down the damage on that tower. You can see the ulti just popping out every time he steps closer. He wants to get that tower. It's not going to happen. He needs to be careful. Remember, there's no Salty ulti to save his life if he does get caught. There's no arrow there. Remember, everything pretty much got blown there. Arrow's up very soon, though, so they've wisely backed away. I guess they're going to move around, pick up the blue. Yes, they will pick up the blue buff. They need to be careful they don't get greedy. And they're going to try and go for Dragon, but remember, Team Solar Mid will be spawning. They know that they're coming back. Now they're going to back away because they see that Hotshot GG coming around there. Chaos can't stand in the face of that. Hawkshot's across, not going to get a steal. And TSM continue to follow. CLG know that the Dragon's there, but they know that they're on a fight on their hands if they do go for it. St. Vicious caught out of the side there, which is why Rayman's got in for him. Will KX be able to catch in time? No, he won't do, and kicked beautifully into X Special there as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that whole last team fight. Like, if you're going to finish the tank, if you're going to focus on the tank, at least kill him.
No, they couldn't kill him because Zillion's ulti went on him, so he'd have just respawned full health. Instead, they left him low, and rightly so, he had to back away.
That's all right, then.
That's all right, yeah.
Let him off.
They kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah. So Reginald here just getting that free farm up in the middle area. Top lane's got a decent stack actually for someone of CLG to go and get some free cash. And it looks like it will be Hotshot who works his way up to deal with that one. And there goes a ward into Baron. So TSM have that vision now of the Baron area, so CLG aren't going to be able to sneaky in there and take that Baron away without them knowing. Meantime, Big Fat GG just chipping away at these minions in middle.
Look at the farm between the two tops, 237 to 236. You can't say Rayman and Hotshot don't continue to farm throughout this game. Oh, Rayman's going to dive on towards Big Fat GG. Hasn't got enough, and not got enough to follow it up. And well, rightly so, they have to back out because Salts was there. As they didn't have any ward placement. That was just I believe he refers to it as DP. Some may think DP means something else, but apparently it means dude potential. Personally, I had a whole different other view of what DP meant, and I'm not going to go into it on stream.
You already are.
Yeah.
So CLG backing away. Actually, red and blue buff on Saucy. They're going to start. They're going to kick this Baron off. Obviously, there is no ward.
They have no idea. And now they have no idea. X Special is coming around. He's just clearing the wards. They have no idea that TSM there goes to Clairvoyance. And now they're going, oh, quick, try and get in there. Didn't get the steal. The Ash Arrow went in. Wasn't going to happen. And CLG pick up the first Baron. Despite the fact, oh, Chaos, you're going to take a lot of damage from Big Fat GG here. I think he might be enough to finish him off. Yes, he will do. And that ulti is going to land. Bang. Splat. Chaos down. Tower down. CLG now in a strong commanding position to be able to push this one on, Joe.
Yeah, and the tower's got basically no HP, and they can just tank it.
Yeah, they're waiting for someone to get in there and tank it.
Yeah, and Hotshot went forward, but he wasn't the one that was tanking. You have to be a little bit careful. Still 4 alive for TSM. No overextending needed at this point. Keep it up as you're going. You see Big Fat GG really just knocking his way straight through this tower. He's 2-0-2 right now. Got himself double Doran's Blade. Of course, that Blood Razor Catalyst Protector already in there as well. And I think they're just going to steamroll straight through this inhibitor as well.
Yeah, so the TSM cannot do anything about it. Well, they were struggling in the team fight as it was, but when they got Barrett on, there's nothing they can do because Hotshot will just get straight on them, put that ulti down, and you know it will destroy the entire team. So they rightly so had to stand at the double Nexus towers, and there was nothing TSM could do but stand and watch.
Vicious just stealing away all the jungle that he can. And actually we see that TSM do have a couple of wards down in that top jungle area and one in Baron Pit, which is a little bit late. How is he?
And he's going to get caught out of position.
Out. Yeah, we get the speed onto Hotshot GG. He's going to push in there. Stun comes out. She's going to flash over and get away. Let's have a look how much damage that bomb's doing. Lots of damage right now. Double bomb, and she's pretty much dead. What HP does Souls have?
Chaos, in the meantime, has decided to go, you know what? If they're going to keep doing that, I will push the bottom tower. He's not really got any minions with him, but it's going to have enough damage to be able to just chip it down. Look at that, Infedge and Wriggles on there. Got to be, yeah, nobody's got anywhere near him, but they have gone missing. They've got no vision, so you can see that. I mean, there's the single ward, like you say, in Baron and the Tribush. That's it. It's all been cleared out, and TSM are pretty blind at the moment, so they need to be careful. Even just going in their own jungle, they need to be careful which way. You can see the wolves are up, but they don't really want to go pick them up.
Right now, Sol's pushing his way forward as well in that middle area. See if he tries to drop a bomb or two on top of Reginald. Nope, just going to continue to feed. Obviously, there's super minions pushing up there with them as well. And that's going to set TSM into an even more passive defensive kind of mode. Galio starting to work up on this bottom lane as well. So we'll see if CLG split the lanes. I mean, that's something that we saw them we've seen them do earlier in this second game, but also, you know, Hotshot's just great at doing that. He seems to really shine through when it comes to splitting the opposition up and managing to squeeze through onto those turrets. There, they take that one down. They're not going to get greedy, CLG. They just back away.
No, they're going to pick up the blue. They're clearing out the jungle, taking all the buffs, and they have full control now. So CLG looking strong in this one. They're going to have to do something pretty chronic to lose it, but it is still possible. Team Solar Mid are quite capable of a strong fight, but Hotshot GG is just looking for that opportunity right now. As soon as those minions go in, they're going to force them away. Look at that. Ulti landing on the odd one. The odd one already very low health. They can't do a thing about it. Look at it. He's trying to draw them in. He's got his flash ready to flash ulti in there, which is what he wants to do. On the arrow will land down him. Oh, Reginald taking very low. St. Vicious going in. If he can just flash ulti in there. Instead, the Fiddlesticks will go in. Hotshot gets his ulti off. Rainman taken so low, but he's got Guardian Angels. He will respawn. Six Special tries to come across. They're trying to buy a little bit of time. Hotshot had the ulti on him from Zillion. Comes straight back up. And that's going to be Reginald going down as well. That bomb won't quite finish him off, but St. Vicious will. And Big Fat GG picks up the kill in the end. Tower going down. CLG are going to take this one. There's nothing at all that Team Solar Mid could do. We're going to have a third map here, Joe. It's what we like. It's what we want. It's not what my flight time wants, but it's okay. We're still going quickly. As long as the players are ready in time, I'm happy. And CLG, you know, they have played this one perfectly. Team Solar Mid played the first one perfectly. CLG have just turned it around and said, you know what, we're going to win this one. And the confidence between the two, I have no idea which way the bans are going to go or what way anything's going to go. Sol's using his ulti on himself. Doesn't matter. Will we see Hotshot dive on the fountain? Don't matter. We're going to take the Nexus. Joe, we're going to have the third map.
Well, let's be honest, that's all everyone wanted to see here. Match number 3 between CLG and TSM. We can forget the last 2 games because it all comes now down to this one next matchup. Hopefully, it's going to be amazing.
Well, hopefully it's going to be a bit more quick pace because that was a pretty slow one, I have to say. There was not a fat lot of action, and in fact, it was 2-1 for about the first probably 30 minutes of that game, really. So let's hope the third map becomes a bit more action-packed. I don't know whether we're going to get to see a level 1 fight yet between these two guys. It's funny that when they come against European teams and they quite happily invade the jungle. When they come, maybe it's because they know that they can get away with it. When they come against the American team, they just stand at turret. They're European style.
Yeah, I totally agree. And as far as having a more fast-paced game, I'm not sure that we're going to. I mean, this is the third map of the final. It's all on this one, so we could be seeing an even slower game.
Oh God, no.
I hope that one of them really thinks about this, you know, knowing how passive they've both teams have played in both maps, and goes out and plays really offensive to get those early kills. We're going to see that though here in just a second. Quick look down the post-match scoreboard, by the way. 4-0-3 Souls. Zillion ban next game? I think so.
We've seen Zillion picked pretty much throughout this tournament by the American teams, and every single time it's worked well, apart from the very, very first game by CLG. 3-0-4 as well for Big Fat GG. Big Fat GG on Cogmore is brilliant, and I think potential targeted ban because both teams have played Cogmore now, and every single time he has been one of the main focal points. Obviously, no, can't forget Hotshot GG's managed to land that ulti in there, managed to catch them out every time. getting the res straight away from Souls. You know, they managed to pull out of it. CLG played perfect, TSM played perfect. I guess we're going to get a great game. We'll be back straight after this break.
So welcome back then to the League of Legends Grand Final. The score is 1-1 between Team Solo Mid and CLG, and as you can see, during the break, it was so long, Demon grew his hair and grew a beard and became German.
And became a lot less handsome as well in the process. I don't know how that happens. It's a wonderful transformation. No, he actually had to run and catch his plane, I believe. Yep. Very unfortunate. Obviously, guys, we are very, very sorry about this. This is not how we wanted this event to end. We're doing our best right now. I think the server issue is fixed, and obviously we're going to have a very good long look at exactly what happened here right after the event, make sure this does not happen at any future events. We restarted the servers earlier this morning. We thought that after the restart everything was okay. Just had minor issues with the Fnatic versus Millennium match, so we thought the restart solved it. Apparently it didn't. Very sorry about that, but we can now actually go into the game. I believe everything should be fixed. And that second game, not quite so interesting, but that first game, very, very great. What was that AP, John? I just walked into that game 2 minutes after the start and was like, no, what's going on? He must just be holding the lane. But no, wait, there's a real support. What?
Yeah. It was an interesting choice. It worked. It definitely did work. Are you expecting to see any unorthodox picks coming into this third game? Actually,
well,
we already did plans and picks, right? Yeah, see, it's been...
Actually,
I'm confused.
The Vlad pick, I believe, could be a counter pick to Nidalee. It could actually be something that can out-harass and out-sustain Nidalee on her lane. We're going to have to see if they actually manage to get the same lane with Nidalee, because obviously she can switch around with Udyr as well, who is not that good on mid lane, but you know, if you get advantageous lanes, sometimes you put a champion in a lane that he is not quite at home in. But we're gonna have to see. This is a very, very interesting game that I really cannot call. I mean, the second game really came down to that one oversight from TSM that they did not have the Baron warded.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, Ashe is not the character you want to go and scout with, face scout with. So I think that Ashe kill that basically ended the game. Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunate, but we're gonna see, I believe, I hope, a very close third game right now, and I
hope so.
Super excited about it. We are gonna go into the game, I believe, pretty much right now. It's gonna be Team Solo Mid versus Counterlogic Gaming.
Gonna be an absolutely awesome show. Who's your favorite for this one? I have to ask.
It's a very hard
what
one.
We've been saying.
So, Chaox is a very, very nice guy. I really like talking to him. I really like his stream as well. So I'm rooting for him. But you know, I've known Hotshot and most of the guys from CLG since last WCG, so they feel close to my heart as well. I don't know. I really can't say, Joe. We're just gonna have to see which is the better team.
Well, let's get into the game. The third and final match here between TSM and CLG is coming right now. So we are in game here, the third and final one. The winner of this match will become the champion of the first Intel Extreme Masters event of Season 6, of course, here in Cologne at Gamescom. And we're seeing a fairly similar start to what we saw in the last two games, which is not too much early aggression. Both teams playing it very, very safe.
Yeah. We're going to have to see how Big Fat LP's Urgot is. I don't think we've seen him play Urgot this tournament before, but we have, of course, seen an awful lot of Urgots in the Fnatic versus the Millennium match. I think there was an Urgot in every single game. a very, like Ocelot pointed out to me, a very strong early and mid-game hero who falls off sharply toward the end game. So it looks to me like CLG will need to make a move early in this game. We're going to see the pretty much identical start from TSM here. We're going to have a little help for the odd one with the first couple of jungle creeps. And St. Vicious starting with the wolves as well. That, I believe, is the let's get to level 6 as quickly as possible route for Nocturne.
And he's going to, as you say, get that help from Sulz and also Hotshot before they head off into their lane. So we're going to be seeing Sulz taking the Vladimir in middle up against Rainman's Udyr. What do you think to this lane?
Well, is it really going to be Vlad versus... No. Oh, yeah, middle. Yes, absolutely. That is, like I said before, Udyr in middle lane, he does not feel quite at home in middle lane. But he is definitely the guy that you want up against Vlad, because if he shields right, he can probably out-harass Vlad. If he gets close enough to Vlad, he can do some good damage, and he should be able to shield at least 1 or 2 Qs. And Nidalee versus Shogath is one of those, we are both just going to farm for 30 minutes lanes. Unfortunately, not as much fun to watch, but if you're really good at it, you can push the other one out of the lane. And I think that's what both of them are going to try to do. And obviously, Reginald versus Hotshot, this is the classic American rivalry here, Joe. I believe they both, there must have been a falling out or something. At any rate, they are really big rivals now. They used to be both on the same team. They are certainly the two most popular players on the North American realm, and certainly also two of the best players.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. And yeah, the whole falling out and splitting up as a team thing, I think it's behind them, to be honest, despite the rivalry that still is there. They seem to be friendly to each other, at least these days. Yeah. Obviously, Chaos taking Caitlyn, who, to be honest, has been that AD carry of choice throughout this tournament.
Very, very much so, yeah, absolutely. The Q just gives you that much harassing power in lane. That is very powerful, and if you position yourself properly in team fights, and you get these long drawn-out team fights that teams seem to like so much these days, the Q can just put out all that long-distance harassment and leave you very, very safe. We see no jungle invade yet from the odd one, who's going to go home right now, probably by Madrid's... No, actually buying boots, that probably makes more sense. We have seen Gangplank's invade at level 2 before, but for some reason the odd one didn't think that was necessary this time around. And invasion is not something you really plan, and invasion is something that you take, I believe, when the opportunity presents itself, and the lanes were all pushed near the towers for CLG, so they could have reacted very quickly to an invasion, and the odd one wisely choosing not to go into the enemy forest.
Yep, St. Vicious actually just crossing over there, starting his work in on the Wraith camp. Some nice early ward coverage down, you see here in the Tribush, and a very aggressive one by the Wraith. That's obviously aimed up towards St. Vicious so that he can spot when he can maybe get in there for a sneaky attack. And Steel up at top, as you mentioned, it's just going to be a case of Hotshot and Reginald taking shots at each other and not doing too much damage that's going to cause any problems. Down at the bottom, we just see Chaos hitting level 4. Early CS count down there, 17, sorry, I tell a lie, 26 for Caitlyn and 18 for Urgot. So already a very, very strong start with Caitlyn.
Yeah. I believe the reason that we did not see a jungle invasion from Nocturne is that he is really trying to hit that level 6 as quickly as possible and then go gank, and that's those ganks that we're really looking forward to. These ganks are really fun as well. When you bait an enemy team by presenting a weakness to them, they go in and then bam, Nocturne ultimate.
Once again, we see that ward in the front bush from TSM. That's something that they've been aiming for the entire time. So also just doing a bit of life stealing there from good old Rainman in middle on that Udyr.
Vlad is this kind of hero that needs to hit a certain level before he becomes really scary. But once Vlad hits level 7 or 8 or so, thereabouts, he becomes really, really scary, and his harassment in lane is just probably unequaled in the game still, even after all the many, many nerfs. And for everybody who's saying nerf Vlad, we have 100 times. It just doesn't seem to help.
He's just naturally awesome.
Yeah, the kit is... it has its strengths, and these strengths are not especially fun to play against, but I can tell you, I used to play Vlad a lot. He is fun to play. You can do these really clutch plays where you go in and it looks like you're definitely gonna die, and then there's the one Q keeping you alive, and you have a little bit more damage than the enemy thought. And that's a kill then. Nocturne just hit level 5 here. He's gonna get red. I think there may be enough for level 6. The odd one is now in the top brush, but I don't believe Hotshot is going to get aggressive anytime soon, especially since Reggie just pinged 6, and that means those creep waves are going to fall so very, very quickly.
Down at the bottom, we did see Soraka go back there already. Urgot has Mecha Pendant and the potions down there.
Oh, the odd one trying to steal Golem. St. Vicious finds him. I don't think the odd one's going to push. No, he's just going to let the Golem reset. But he still wants to put a little bit of harassment down on St. Vicious. Trying to steal a Golem right now is not quite going to work. Cho'Gath's not going to come to help. He ate an orange there and he was K. But the Rupture, very good flash.
Flash, yeah.
Very good flash.
Really, really safe there. And the odd one just getting himself away.
And I see one difference between the American and the European Urgot right here. The European Urgot, for some reason, did not skill E until very, very late in the game. And from Big Fair LP, we see the E coming out very early. That means he's probably going to have less of a shield, but he can be much more aggressive, because once that E lands, you have 2 or 3 guaranteed Q hits. And that is going to be very, very painful with the armor reduction from your E, of course.
Just seen that Rain Man putting down a ward so that he doesn't get hit from above by by St. Vicious.
And I have to say, I've been watching Reggie play the Nidalee here, and it's a very, very good Nidalee. He knows how to farm with her. I mean, it's just as I say that he misses one jump, but that's fine. Still not missing that much in CS. No, he's not actually missing any CS. Oh, no, there's the first gank coming in, but they don't have vision, or they don't think he was close enough anymore. That's unfortunate. So I think what happened there is that Reggie put too much distance between himself and St. Vicious, maybe just barely out of range with that one little leap there. And that is a wasted ultimate on Nocturne. That is that whole let's get to level 6 very quickly thing, kind of wasted.
Yeah, we actually see Big Fat GG bring his CS back a little bit closer to that of Chaos, actually 55 to 63 now. And obviously Chaos with that Piltover Peacemaker always able to clear out very, very quickly. In middle we saw Rainman just putting a slight bit of pressure in onto Salty. Nothing to really write home about in either of the in the top or the middle lane.
He keeps trying in the mid lane. He always switches to bear stance when he can, tries to get to Vlad, and Salty has been good about evading him so far. That's that shield from Turtle stance. You can't really queue through it as Vladimir, as long as Raymond hits it at the right time, and there is almost a Tiger hit. And top lane, let's have a quick look at the CS there. It's 54 for Nidalee versus 72 already for Farmshot GG. It's 9 minutes into the game. You guys made the same joke, so I didn't feel as bad about making it. Well, honestly, we joke about this, but you try doing this. You try hitting 72.
I try every game and I fail every game. Don't worry about that.
You and me both. This sort of consistency needs a lot of mental focus, and he's doing really, really good with it.
We've seen actually Udyr go back there. Already got Wriggle's Lantern complete. Just picked up the Ninja Tabby.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with both Urgot and Nocturne in the enemy team. He just has to hope that Vlad doesn't become that scary. But, you know, he's Udyr. He's going to build more tank. He's going to build Banshee's Veil or Force of Nature.
And now Chaos just working his way through the lane. Up, down there, the CS 79 to 65. So
reasonably close.
Reasonably close. That level kind of staying the same. And Reginald just doing a bit of damage wherever he can to Hotshot up on that top lane.
TSM already building 2 Wriggles and 1 Mudred's Blood Razor on the Pirates, so they can do their trademark thing again this tournament, where they just go for very early Baron or Dragon if they want to. Ooh, Soraka may get caught here.
We've got a middle gank coming in as well onto Salsa, and they've actually put the Ignite down. Not sure they're going to finish it off. In comes the ulti from Nocturne. Surely here is first blood. The odd one is getting away. St. Vicious has to actually get away from there. Rainman is going to be in trouble as well. Gets feared off, and that's 3 decently low from CLG, but no first blood.
Wow. Beautifully avoided there from both teams, actually. Pirate once again perfect with the orange timing. The second he was feared, the orange came out, and once again he was K, Joe. He was K.
He was K. All good. Up at top, Hotshot is going to put some pressure down onto this turret. Once he's finished off a little bit there with the minions. Chaos did come up there once they started to rotate up towards this middle area, just to give that extra support, give them that range. But I guess they're going to start to disappear back down in just a little while. Reginald and Hotshot exchanging blows in that top lane as well. Reginald knows he can just go back to his original form, heal up, no problem. Dragon is actually being pulled out and left again. So CLG not ready for that just yet.
It's a 4v4 Dragon, and I don't think that CLG want to force that issue right now.
Rainman has returned back into his middle lane. And is he going to push? No, not just yet.
Caitlyn needs to get back bot. There is a big stack. It's not so much that the stack would damage the tower that much, but losing all these minions against the tower would be a lot of farm. And I believe she's going to get there just barely in time, so well done there from Chaos. He is going to actually convert pretty much all of that. Wow, well done there. He knows how to farm as well. And obviously all these pro gamers have these core mechanics down. You just have to. That's just... You can be the best strategic player in the world. If you don't have those core mechanics down, you just can't compete.
Just having a quick check to middle and top, as almost per usual by now. There's not a lot going on.
Gonna be very interested to see if Reginald is gonna go for the old school hotshot build on Nidalee, which would be the Rage Blade into probably Lich Bane or into Death Cap, or if he goes to something more aggressive. Mid lane now. The main man actually still not reaching Salty. These two are not going to do any damage to each other. Let's have a look at the CS though. 90 for Udyr versus 89 for Vladimir. And once again, exactly the same situation top lane. Reginald with the perfect Gozu reflexes. They're jumping out of range just in time.
And look at the ward placement right now over from TSM. Absolutely covered the lower river part, so lots of vision they've got there. They want to make sure that CLG aren't walking in there and picking themselves up a Baron.
Mid lane, Rainman is really doing well on shielding all those Qs from Salsi, and Salsi has built up the revolver already, and we have Dragon up right now, and we saw Sona just walk past that, clearing out wards, so it could be that TSM are setting up for that Dragon. Like we said, 3 Wriggles once again, and that means they can take...
Spam them wards.
Yes, spam them wards, but also take down Dragon in half a second, pretty much.
Actually, St. Vicious was there. I obviously spotted him. Clairvoyance does go down, and X-Special clearing out very nicely here. And CLG have to be a little bit wary that they don't give this Dragon up exactly for free.
Yeah, they should at least make them waste a little of time. They show their presence a couple of times, have them go in and out, and that's what they're doing right now. It looks like TSM aborted the Dragon attempt and is going back to farm mode.
And Caitlyn is doing plenty of damage now. Got the Zeal. Obviously, Wriggles was built earlier on, Doran's Blade from the start.
That's interesting. Normally we see them go for the BF sword after the Wriggles. Trying something new in the last game of the tournament. Why not? It's probably not something new. It's probably something else that he trained to, obviously.
Nocturne actually sniffing around by Dragon here. It looks like he's actually going to engage. This could be very dangerous.
Yeah.
They spotted him going back now. And Rayman did start to come down, but decided, nope, not worth it just yet.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, KX is continuing to farm. Actually, both him and Hotshot GG on 135 CS at this point of the game.
Wow. Nidalee falling behind a little bit then at 116 CS, but Reggie has not been back to buy even once. Neither has Hotshot. Wow. These guys really like their farm. Bit of damage on Salty in mid lane, not too much there. There's nothing much going on in bot lane as well. It's one of those situations where it looks very dull, but both teams are just waiting for one team to make the first move. And we saw in that last game, once CLG sneaked the Baron, all of a sudden it was bam, and the game was over. So we have to watch very carefully here for the first team to make a move. I hope it's not going to be one single Baron sneak into an end of a game. But you know what? It's the Intel Extreme Masters. You want to win. You're going to do anything you can to win. And honestly, that's exactly what these players should be doing.
There's a ping gone down there up at the top where Hotshot is. Not sure really what that was all about. Either way. We are seeing the odd one start to move down in towards this bottom lane area. So possible gank being set up from TSM.
Wow, and look how Look how common these so-called ninja gangs have become. Chaos actually warding his own brush in bot lane for fear of somebody sneaking in there when the creeps are pushed past it.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a lot, quite often happening throughout this tournament. Another clairvoyance down. Obviously, these wards timing out around about the South River, so we'll probably see some fresh coming in, since still no one has taken that first dragon.
Reggie has now rotated down near dragon, so I believe this is the time for them to do dragon. And oh, Saint Vicious may get caught here, and there is the Udyr coming in from behind, but Saint Vicious gets out. There is a good ultimate down on him. Rainman is gonna get not gonna get a stun because there's a troll pool. And they're just going to take this tower, I believe. Salty now actually take a lot of damage from Udyr, and there is a good shot, and that's first blood to Reginald. Big fat LP has to flash out of this. He's going to get an ulti to him. He's going to get a lot of damage from Udyr. Look at that. Wow, that damage. Amazing. Elements gets caught by his Sona ultimate and goes down as well. As I was saying, Joe, once it starts happening, it happens at a crazy neck-breaking pace.
Absolutely amazing stuff there from TSM. And they're going to take down this turret. Are they going to push in for the base turret? I don't see why not.
Yeah, there's still 3 down. Actually, they're coming back right now. And Rainman flashing in, I believe. Did he flash in there? Yeah, he did flash in there to no avail because Saint Vicious had distance enough.
Now we're going to see a dragon pick up finally.
Yes, I don't think that CLG can do anything about this right now. That was a very, very good start of the actual proper game for TSM. They just saw that one chance of having Saint Vicious a little bit out of position, and they followed up so strongly. These teams, they know exactly what they're doing. They see the smallest advantage and they go like, okay, we need to go up full speed on them. Hotshot now in the middle of Odd One Leg Special, doing what damage he can, but he's not going to kill anyone, obviously.
And Italy's there as well, so they have to be a little bit careful of Reginald, but it is a 5-man stack from CLG. They're looking to instantly reply to that earlier push, which killed 3 of them. We're actually seeing Hotshot pushing straight through. Well, flash, and he gets the
Reggie has
straight in there.
Reggie has been swapped. It goes down as well at the hands of Urgot. So that's 2 for nothing, and a tower for CLG, who are pulling back very, very strongly.
Insane early game in this one. 3-2. Obviously, a slight gold advantage with that extra kill, plus the 1 more tower down. No way.
No. Oh, wow. The Odd One is still down. He has his ultimate, so he can put it down, but the ultimate is not a very reliable way of stealing. There it comes right now. It's going to damage CLG. Raymond is actually going in right now. It's exhausted, has to pull back, and they cannot finish Baron, so that was... Or can they? They don't care. They're going for Baron, and the Raymond goes in again. The rest of Team CLG, the rest of TSM is not there. There's the nom, and it's a pickup for CLG. Raymond now in all sorts of trouble. There is the ultimate from Nocturne as well. A good troll pool in the middle of the Odd One. The Odd One's also going to go down. Not only did they not stop CLG from doing Baron, they also lost 2 people in the process.
Absolutely incredible play then from CLG, and I tell you what, to stay there in that Baron fight in a final like this, that takes some nerves as well.
I wonder if it was all of them agreeing that this should be done, or if it was one person on Team Shit saying, no, stay, we got this. Because that was a very close call. I was really not sure if that was the right decision, but obviously enough, it was.
Brilliant start to this final match. Obviously the winner, if you're just joining us, the scoreline is 1-1. So the winner of this 3rd and final game will be the champion.
I believe they can see it on the screen. Actually, we have this very nice ESL graphic under the main header that has the current score up 1-1 right now. We are spectating Team Solomid versus CLG. And it's still a close game, Joe. It looked like CLG just really gave them a solid punch in the jaw there, but TSM were ahead before that. And if you just look at gold, they're pretty much equal right now. Reginald actually did opt to go straight for that death cap. I'm not sure what he's building next. That could be a Void Stab, which would be insanely aggressive. Rainman versus Hotshot top lane. I don't think they're going to do much damage to each other. Nope, they're just dancing a little bit there.
Yeah, not the most fun you can have watching a lane there. Udyr against Cho'Gath. Actually, we're seeing Reginald start to work up as well. They probably did see him coming from the ward just in that brush there. Hotshot retreating around the backside. Doesn't want to get himself caught out, even though he is full HP. Got himself the Negatron cloak built up already, so looking like Hotshot's going to have another strong game. I mean, his farm is up at 185.
Wow.
We're about to see Caitlyn hit 200. And look at this, they're pushing straight into that middle area. Obviously, Baron buff is still with them. The Gangplank ulti just slowing them down a little bit, but I think they should be able to do this one. And there's missiles coming out from Urgot, and Reginald took so much damage. He actually healed himself as well in the process of all that. It looks like blue buff will be stolen as well by CLG. Oh,
yeah, I don't know that TSM can actually go in there now. Nope, they are too late. Who's it going to go to? Oh, Reggie almost stealing it with a spear there. Not going to happen though. It's 300 AP. Those spears do a lot of damage already. Rainman actually finding Soraka here, putting good damage on her with Tiger Stance. She has to flash out, but there's Reggie now on her. If he gets one takedown, that could be the kill on Elements. Good double heal, but is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it's going to be, and there's the pickup on Elements.
Nicely done. And obviously that flash was burned pretty early, trying to get that heal off. There was no rupture, unless I missed it before he switched up to the rupture from Hotshot didn't really come in there, and he's a little bit scared here on his tower, thinking that they may dive in onto him. Actually, we see Rainman going in, of course, Turtle Shield coming out. You're not going to do much damage to that Udyr, and he'll just simply walk on away.
Yeah, walk on away. That is the equalizer once again for kills. So we are at 4-4 right now. Very, very equal game right now. Although you have to ask yourself, what is the answer from CLG if this game goes super long and it turns into a poke game? So I heard earlier from Ocelotta, the pro gamer I was casting with, that Soraka is considered a Nidalee counter because she can heal up those pokes. The thing is, Soraka is not going to build AP while Nidalee is, so while those pokes get stronger and stronger, the heals don't.
Exactly, and that's a big, big problem, especially when you start to move into that late game. The Nidalee spears are just absolutely insane.
And so much fun to cast, I have to say. The entire audience goes, oh, is it going to hit? Yay!
And your Soraka counter only works, by the way, when she doesn't catch the spears twice in a row.
Oh.
Soraka actually just dropping that CV. They know where Nidalee is at the moment. I'm not sure if they're going to go and have a bit of a peek, try and pick her up. Doesn't look that way. Hotshot is starting to move his way in. There is a ward right where he stood.
It has to be said, CLG did not do enough with the Baron buff. They took one tower off of it, while TSM just took 2 towers earlier without Baron buff, just off of a kill. Hotshot in exactly the position he likes to be. He likes to be in the enemy's face, and look at that scary Loch Ness monster right there.
Yeah.
That is a big scary thing, and you just want to right click it. You just want to use your abilities. Dragon pick up there for CLG. TSM is not going to contest it, and that's the right play here, of course. They could try the Gangplank ulti, but nope, they're not going to waste it for that.
Let's watch Hotshot again as he moves his way up towards middle. Gonna have some free farm while he's there. He's actually just getting X Special completely out of the way.
Yeah.
Up at the top there we see Caitlyn, and this is what Caitlyn's absolutely awesome for, which is obviously just speeding up into that lane that's completely empty, knocking the tower down, getting straight out of there. And she may even try and do some damage onto the next one. Has to be a bit careful. Hotshot is on his way up there to defend.
Yeah, he wants to force somebody to come defend. Now he's happy, now he's gonna go home. Chaos basically says, mission accomplished, somebody came here to defend, I can go back home. They cannot continue their push in middle. Well, just as I say that, they continue their push in middle. Interesting. Okay, currently there's Sona, Nidalee, and Udyr. They should be able to defend just fine. So we see those spears actually do a lot of damage right now, one-shotting those ranged minions. Death Cap finished on Vladimir though. He's gonna start to get very worrisome as well. Death Cap and Void Staff on Nidalee indeed, so aggressive Reginald is aggressive, and that's what we like, you know?
Gonna be good to see how this all builds up a little bit later on into the game. As you mentioned,
just
315 AP.
Yeah, I just saw Caitlyn do a 1016 points crit.
What?
Obviously that was a crit with Wriggles on a minion, but the numbers still look pretty good.
Obviously, built Infinity had Zeal is there, Berserker's Greaves are done, Wriggles there. It's a really nice looking Caitlyn so far. I mean, she's got so much farm. 245.
Wow.
The highest by a few. Hotshot just behind at 235 with his Cho'Gath.
And Hotshot building his trademark Cho'Gath build that has been using for the entire tournament. It's Frozen Heart into Force of Nature into Wit's End. Wit's End is actually a very interesting item on Cho'Gath. It kind of does make sense. I mean, you do have the Vorpal spikes that benefit from your attack speed as well, and the extra magic resist is exactly what you need on Cho'Gath. But it's just so strange to see any attack damage being built on the tank.
Yeah. But we've seen Hotshot's. Well, he's a monster with Cho'Gath. Let's be honest.
Literally as well.
Caitlin's going back there. Hotshot thought he may be in with a chance of picking something up. Again, we've got fairly comprehensive ward coverage, more from CLG at this point. And actually, we may see a bit of an altercation here as Big Fat GG actually took a spear.
A good one too.
Not so far away from half HP. That spear hit Hotshot, but if it had hit Elements, it would have been a totally different story.
Yeah.
There goes another spear. Oh, just flashing back behind. And they managed to steal that blue buff away.
And easily too. It didn't look like TSM felt like they were in a position to take it. And oh, there was a ward. Big Fat LP, you have to be careful. There's a flash after him, but the rest of Raymond's team is possibly going to be too far away. And the defensive Nocturne ulti makes it sure that they don't chase up. Yes. Oh, actually, Nocturne being very aggressive in bottom lane there, getting the odd one down to very little health indeed. And the odd one has to use his ultimate defensively here. But he's going to be able to save the tower. Good swap on X special. He's going to go down.
All kicking off there in that middle area. The swap from her got perfectly timed, and obviously a fairly easy kill once you pull a support that far into the group. That's kind of a foregone conclusion. Here we go. Hotshot actually pushing up here, and they are working through on Rayman. He's surely going to go down. He's got the ignite on him as well. There he is, dead. And Solsey actually up into the base. Needs to be a little bit careful. Chaos's damage is very, very high. They've got minions. Hit the tower. They should be careful now because we are seeing CLG all coming back. TSM all coming back. At
the same time, CLG had been pushing bottom lane the entire time, actually going past the turret to put some threat out on the enemy team. Big stack coming top. Looks like Chaos is going to go and clear that up. Going to get his farm even higher. The other one still needs to be careful. CLG are around there, and that looked really, really scary. Hotshot just put himself in the front position, said, I don't care, there is no amount of damage in the world you can do that will even worry me. And that is a scary place to be for Chaos and all of TSM. TSM is a little bit out of position. If they want to go in for that turret very quickly, they can do it. Hotshot eating a spear, not going to be bothered at all by that. That's the movement speed buff from Pirate, and Rainman is going to use it to get out of the fear leash.
And they're going to back away from this one, not willing to take the fight around that turret, but they've done a good job. They're 5-3 ahead now in terms of turrets, 42 to 37k gold. So they've built up a nice 5k advantage right there.
Baron is available. Both teams should be looking for wards, not just at Baron, but also in the access ways toward Baron, so that they can force a Baron and possibly catch the enemy in a bad position.
But there's not a ward there at all from CLG. This is very dangerous.
You know what's a bad position for Baron? All in base. That's a very bad position. And that's going to be a free Baron to TSM. Oh, wow. Where's the ultimate from Odd One? Didn't even see it. Probably just slowing down everybody. And yeah, CLG didn't even get near that Baron.
Oh, TSM needs to be careful. And Hotshot will actually catch them. And the Rupture actually lands onto Ravenman, which is probably the best situation out of everything there.
Yeah, for TSM, certainly.
TSM just backing their way in. CLG actually forcing their way possibly to clear up this middle area, put a bit more pressure on down at bottom there. We will see Reginald get the kill onto St. Vicious. Switch out of ulti mode there and got the heal off in the nick of time. Spear got the kill. Nicely done onto Nocturne. And we're going to see another dragon now for CLG.
So, you know, Joe, I want to say that TSM feel like they have the advantage right now, but CLG still have that strong gold lead, and there is another dragon, like you said. That's going to make the gold lead even bigger. Hotshot did not die, or did he die? Did Hotshot die? Let's have a look.
No.
He did not die yet. Yeah, so he has those 6 stacks up, and he is going to be so hard to take down. Rainman, though, fancies his chances, goes in. He's got to put a little bit of Tiger Stance damage on him, and Hotshot actually has to flash to be safe. And you know what? Rainman keeps going after him. because CLG was caught badly out of position. They couldn't go through their golem forest, and Chaos taken half health off that inhib turret just in a matter of seconds, really.
And we see the poke from Nidalee. They've actually split off and they're going to attack this top turret. They've got Udi and Caitlyn there. That's like the perfect combo for a two-man team up on this turret. And actually we see the ulti coming in. Caitlyn's going to have to escape. Gets into a position where she can do damage safely. And it looks like we may see the St. Vicious go down. No, it's definitely not. There goes the switch onto Reginald, who tries to get himself away. Will manage to get away. Got a heal in the process. Will try and heal himself as well. He's gone down very, very low. Rainman, of course, will become the focus. It'll take them a long while to get him down. And there's a beautiful stun from X Special over the top. And it actually got every single man from CLG there. He doesn't get much more perfect like that with his own ulti.
You know, they say we don't give enough credit to supports, but it just has to be said, that was one of the most beautiful ults I've ever seen, really. That was beautifully played by X Special.
And more to the point, it saves lives and Baron buffs.
Oh yeah, Baron buffs as well. Very good point. Salt is going to take a bit of damage. He's going to troll pool, do damage to himself. And good flash there from Rainman. He's going to go in with the Tiger Stance damage. It's not quite enough. And now Rainman needs to be careful, because now the entire team in CLG is on him. They take the turret down, so suddenly it's a safe place. But it's not that safe, because CLG are still scary, scary people.
We see that TSM just back straight away there. Rainman decided he wasn't going to survive that one. So we just let him sacrifice while the rest of his team could obviously run away and get themselves safe. Caitlyn going down bottom for some nice farm. Let me bring the scoreboard back up so we can look at more items. And Caitlyn, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Wriggles Lantern, Berserker Greaves, all nice build there from Chaos.
This is insane, really. The amount of damage that Caitlyn can put out. You said it exactly right in the last fight. She needs to get in a position where she can do damage, but she was just around that corner of the trees there, was safe there, and if she can poke and can put a couple of Qs through maybe multiple enemies as well, the damage is insane. And I think except for Hotshot, no one can tank her for any amount of time, really.
TNX Special just creep around there. Oracle's on, so he's going to be checking for any advanced wards put up quite aggressively down towards that red buff. And actually, there's nothing there. In fact, there's only one single ward, I think, on the entire map, which is this one.
Yeah.
Round about the Baron.
Lonely, lonely ward there. Oh, he gets a friend at the other end of the brush.
Here we go with St. Vicious down bottom, clearing out. Will back straight away, doesn't want to get himself ganked. Caitlyn is going to take herself the red buff. And TSM, they didn't do so much with that last Baron.
No, they did not. They did not. They're slowly closing the gap, but so very, very slowly. It's really just going to come down to how much is Urgot going to fall off in late game. And the build here looks, I don't even know what this looks like. There's a Brutalizer and a Phage. The Phage could be both a Frozen Molotov if he wants to go tanky, or a Trinity Force, which works very well with the Qs. The Brutalizer, I don't even know what this is going to be. It can only become a Humus Ghostblade, but on a ranged, obviously not the ideal item you want to build. At the same time, Caitlyn, like you said, building super classic. He's going to build a second Phantom Dancer, actually, and yes, this is actually a good idea to build. Second Phantom Dancer, it's going to get a very close to max on attack speed, very close to max crit chance, and that's going to just be super, super scary.
Here we go. CLG are starting to work on this inhibitor. TSM do manage to scare them off, though. Spears coming out left and right. Defensive poke working well so far. Hotshot actually just avoiding that spear.
That spear barely pierced his tail there. But he feels no pain in his tail.
Pushing a little bit more. Oh, that one he caught.
Yeah.
Always good to see these spears going out. There's another one straight on to Hotshot. See 452 AP at the moment for Nidalee, by the way. That's very, very scary.
And now one of these teams needs to decide that they've had enough of this standoff and go somewhere else. And yeah, that's exactly what KX is doing. He's gonna go and farm, and if St. Vicious eats the spear, takes a good chunk of health, but Soraka is gonna heal it up. She actually built a little bit of AP and the cooldown boots so she can spam those heals.
Let's have a look. Yep. So, more spears coming out. Obviously, just getting rid of these minions. And at the moment, it's a very kind of cautious fight. No one wants to jump in there. St. Vicious actually losing round about half his HP.
Nice move by Hotshot.
Yeah.
Yes, well done by Hotshot there.
That means they can probably stay here. Half HP on St. Vicious is still a lot of health to be tanking.
Yeah, and there's it's gonna take a couple of heals to heal that back up. And CLG realized that this is never gonna get better. They're gonna get outpoked here very, very badly. They just need to leave.
Oh, Clairvoyance goes down. They know exactly where CLG are. We've hit almost the 40-minute mark, and it's showing they don't want to push, they don't want to overstretch.
Yeah.
You can tell that this is a very important game.
Oh, is Baron back? Baron is back. TSM are there. Are CLG even aware of Baron being back?
Nope, because they're not warding. They've not warded the top side of the map at all.
Going there, but they're too late once again.
CLG should back away from this one.
Yeah, absolutely. But look at this, even after Baron, TSM still about 4k gold behind. More than 4k gold behind. I'm not good with math, but you know what I mean.
I mean, the turrets make a huge, huge difference here. We're seeing a 6-4 scoreline. And yeah, we have that 5k almost gold difference.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be 5k now.
Feed. Chaos is up at 341 CS. Hotshot 300.
Hey Joe, let's make bets right now. Where is he going to end up CS-wise? I'm going to say 440.
I think you're maybe underestimating how long this game's going to go.
So what's your bet?
I'd say he hits 500.
He hits 500. Yeah. Okay, we're going to see. KX definitely has the will to farm. There was the 1144 crit with the Wriggles proc. Nice.
Yeah, I think the way that this game's shaping up, because it is a final, because it is the third in a best of 3, they're going to play defensive. Maybe not necessarily defensive, but passively. I don't think we'll be seeing many forced fights. I think everything will happen with perfect timing, or imperfect timing for one team, no doubt.
Yeah, but once again, I believe once one of these teams makes a step forward, either way, it's going to go very, very quickly, and the end could come very soon. We saw this before. Once there's a tiny little mistake, these teams follow up relentlessly, mercilessly even. And they are all at their best performance right now. They're at 100% concentration. They see the smallest little opening. They're going to go in there, and it's going to go very, very quickly.
And again, TSM are in their base. They've got Baron buff, and they're in their base.
Very
passive play.
You don't really want to... You notice how important this game is to these two teams. I mean, the American forums are certainly full of TSM versus CLG threats at this very moment. If they're not, make sure they will be. Both teams have a very, very vocal and very dedicated fan base. And I can basically hear them cheering all the way over from North America, all the way here in Cologne. And these guys up there on the stage, they know they have lots of fans to either make proud or disappoint.
Rainman just heading up middle on his own.
Oh, I like
Baron
this.
buff still active.
Shogath built a Quicksilver Sash. That is very, very nice. He is not going to be focused, but he will be able to run away from CC. There's not much CC in the enemy team, but what CC there is, he will be able to run away from with that Quicksilver Sash if he needs to. And if Sona tries to keep him away from their carries with their ultimate, he can just insta-cleanse out of that and still chomp down on Chaos.
Right now, TSM starting to finally move out. I think Baron buff can't have too much time left on it. Still, there goes the spear in. Takes roughly a third of HP away from St. Vicious. That one must have been literally before his nose, before his brain run out.
And the spear just says, nope, I'm done. I'm going to fall down now.
But both teams actually have an open inhibitor as well. This one in the middle from CLG, the bottom one over for TSM. And both teams are very, very wary about pushing it.
TSM cannot siege this forever. There is a giant stack on top, and it's only going to get bigger as it approaches the turret. And I believe that top turret could fall to that one single stack. Remember that earlier this year we made minions a lot stronger in the patch. We took a little bit back, but compared to last year, minions are definitely a lot stronger.
I like the change, by the way.
I like it a lot as well.
Reginald moving through into middle, just going to clear that up. Look at the big top. Yeah, look at this, Caitlyn. 500 farm.
No,
go,
I think
go.
you're going to be right.
She's got lots. Just absolutely clearing up wave
and
after
actually,
wave.
bot turret there dies to TSM's minions. So that's happy times for TSM as well.
Really, really great. I mean, Caitlyn's going to be pretty much finished with her entire build.
Yeah.
Once this second Phantom Dancer comes in,
and
she's got Last Whisper, got Infinity Edge, got Berserker Greaves, and there's a slot which is Quicksilver
I
Sash.
like it. You can cleanse out of the suppression from Urgot.
Nice.
That is a very, very underused item and a borderline OP item, I actually think. It's stronger than Cleanse, in case you didn't know. Or anyone at home didn't know. You cannot cleanse a Mordekaiser ulti, but you can Quicksilver Sash cleanse it.
They have TSM just running riot here. This could be very dangerous. They're going to get hit from behind if they're not careful. Nice decision to go that way.
There it is.
There goes the ulti from Nocturne. It's coming in on to Chaos, who's just trying to get himself out of there. There's the Gangplank ulti. We see Chaos again backing off to a safe distance. And the Fear, I think, did proc there. It was just slightly off to the right of my screen. A massive team fight here going on. Solse needs to be careful. Actually, all Sanguine pull away. Odd One is low. Chaos is down. Let's try and catch up with the rest of them again. Here we go. Reginald will actually heal himself up quite nicely. A big fat GG is like, I want to chase, but I'm Urgot and I'm really slow.
Yeah. That was a very good reaction time there for Chaos, immediately cleansing out of it, but it wasn't enough because there was that pesky Nocturne following it up.
Yep.
She flashed away and Nocturne just followed her with a flash of his own. Chaos was safe there for a moment, but tried to do damage in that team fight, and that meant he was still in range to be taken down. I believe this is definitely going to be an inhibitor right now.
I think there's something wrong if they don't manage to get this inhibitor. They are going to take that easy. Obviously, you can see here on the minimap as well, Baron is nicely warded up from CLG, so the next one, they're not going to let it go so easily.
They learned the lesson. Hotshot has one slot free. There's a Doran's Ring he can sell and buy something else for, but I wouldn't even know what to build at this point. He's so super tanky.
Something for fun, maybe. So here we go. They're going to work their way in. Another turret going to fall. And most probably an inhibitor as well. I mean, all five are back alive for TSM. There goes the inhibitor. Stun actually comes out there from Sunner. They're going to go in onto St. Vicious, who ultis back in there. And there's some massive damage coming in. Reginald gets the heal off. The turret's doing a bit of damage as well to Hotshot. Oh.
That is not what we want to see. Let's see if the game is still going on, Joe. Let's try to reconnect. The players are not moving, so I think it's probably not looking good for us. I'm going to try to reconnect right away. Sometimes it's just a small spike, and it's just the spectator client disconnecting, but I don't see much movement from the players right there.
We're back in game, guys. Everything was saved at its point, which is a good thing because we are now continuing here with the Intel Extreme Masters Grand Final for League of Legends here at the Global Challenge in Gamescom. Ulti coming out there, and there's fights going off all over the place right now. And we are seeing X Special taking a lot of damage, actually backs away. There goes a big spear in onto Big Fat LP, who managed to survive there with the use of his shield. Super minions pouring down middle as well.
Oh wow, that was a good kill there on Udyr, and now TSM have to be careful because without Udyr they don't have anyone tanky that can go in and take CLG's attention. But oh, Big Fat LP almost dying to the spear there. Ooh, CLG pushing in again. They have not taken Baron. At the same time an inhib dying to minions, and a very good swap of Chaos. This could be game. Reginald now falling to the ultimate from St. Vicious as well. And it looks like CLG are just finally pushing their advantage down. Yes, CLG just want to end it right here. They're taking a second Nexus turret down. And this is gonna be the Nexus. We were literally minutes away from the end of the game when this happened.
CLG, the champions of the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge in Cologne. Amazing, amazing game, Daniel.
Wow.
It's been spread out over a good few hours, but we finally got there. And well,
I think I have a bunch of gray hairs right now, but you know what? CLG was this close to winning the game. Obviously, this is never how you want the game to end, but you have to just give it to them. They were definitely in the driver's seat. And the moment we went back into the game, the players had time to reset and go back into an orderly fight. And we just saw how that orderly fight ended. CLG completely taken it, and they just said, push, push right now, ended. And look at that, 392, so I think I was closer.
I think you beat me on that one. Damn it.